That's. I really hope he unmuted. No, I'm hearing every crunch. Slower.
We live.
Good.
Oh, yep, we're definitely live, and we heard the trumpet horn too. That's great. Let me
Yeah.
mute my phone.
Perfect.
Hi, everybody.
That's great.
Oh.
I don't know what I missed, but I don't think I want to know.
Nice
You
little
probably
trumpet sound.
don't yet.
You guys playing with the soundboard?
They are
Oh,
playing
yeah?
with the soundboard.
Yeah. What's funny is like when you click the buttons for the soundboard, like a little thing shows up over your face.
Yeah,
And it shows on the stream.
Oh.
So when you guys were hitting the duck, a little duck showed up over your face.
Nice.
Yeah.
Same with the crickets. What's up, everyone? To another Saturday War on Mittalon D&D day stream.
Chaos.
Yeah. I think we're getting the hang of like the setup thing. It really wasn't that bad today, other than Grant's technical problems.
Yeah, it's just my laptop. That's fine.
No, don't worry. Mine's just completely dead now, so I get to go shopping.
Curse has been passed on to my laptop now.
Hashtag tax season.
Ideas.
Yeah, so welcome back, guys. We'll just jump right into it.
Our sponsors for today is no one, but we're willing to take sponsors.
Yeah, Acer.
Anyone.
Buy Apple Jacks, a free gun inside every box.
Oh, jeez.
Rubik's
You know how
Cube,
sad it is?
because things you do on the side while playing D&D.
You know how
If
sad
anyone
it is,
has connections to Acer laptops, specifically the Nitro 7, I'm the only one without the technical problems, and you are why. So, like, help me get these guys on board with the Nitro 7.
Microphones. Let's see. What am I running? I'm running a Shure. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Microphone. We can use some sponsors from them as well.
We just use sponsors, guys. Just you know,
Throw us out there.
hit me up. Yeah. In the last session, so it was 2 sessions ago. You guys fell down the trap,
Yeah.
killed a bunch of people.
I
some
killed a
bad-
bunch of people. Bjorn killed
let
one
some-
person.
Let some bad people out.
We
was a
did
cat.
not do that.
The session after that was Renta. That's what it was. Yeah, Renta got you guys out of jail.
Ice, baby.
Yeah. Priorn got laid. Andy read some books, and Connor had to do 15 Hail Marys.
Knowledge.
Connor got a very stern talking to from his.
from his god, yeah.
I was gonna say your patron and your god, your something.
First legitimate conversation where he spoke to you. And just
I gave you a
Words.
vision. Why didn't you follow it? It's my
yeah.
stupid mother.
I'm sorry.
Blame my mom.
Not my fault.
Mom said it was okay.
She would. Genocidal queen.
So, after Renta got you guys out of the jail, she brought you up to the throne room, the council room, whatever you want to call it, just a big main part of the castle where the current acting king has been. Priorn's been reunited with his father, Orion. Revelor has been reunited with his brother and his mother. Where we last left off was...
I'm trying to gather the Council of Friendship and Family because we need to discuss some things.
Yeah. So after some sneaky misty steps or invisibility,
Yeah, invisibility.
you guys all one by one made it into
The old human burnt down temple that no one visits because how dare humans exist?
exactly. So you guys went to
It's the old Helm Temple.
Premonition Brook, where you found the burned down temple of the Helm. And you guys gathered Rinta there as well. So, lucky ducks.
What time of day is it now? Because that was like a whole journey thing, and like I'm accepting.
It was a whole journey. It's at this point, I'll probably say it's like 5 or 6 o'clock. Like it's getting to late, or it's evening.
Evening, yeah.
The sun's about to set, or is setting, because you're up in the mountains in the colder area. So
me and Otar did leave before the others, just to roam around the city to make it look like we're aimlessly wandering, just in case someone's following. We didn't really see, but when we get to the human temple again, I'm going to post in a position where I can watch as my compatriots come in to see if I can see anyone following them.
sure. And where are you going when you are?
I am roaming with
aimlessly.
confidence, wherever I can find it. If I can find either a library and or a workshop while roaming for the first like hour as the rest of them gather throughout the castle, I'll just make a mental note of it.
Okay. So the way that the city is built, almost kind of like layers stacked up on top of each other, as they go up the mountain, it becomes like higher and higher society, and at the very top of the mountain, the castle is natural. So as you work your way down, you go through the gate district, then you leave the castle gates, or the first ring of castle gates, then you end up in the premonition. If you travel further into the city,
I just want to make it look like I'm exploring, but because I haven't been here before, I'm still making mental notes of the pathing to specifically the Helm's old temple.
Okay, sure. So we'll say that you don't go much. You don't really get outside of the premonition.
Yeah.
You explore the gate district a little bit. You and Otar. Through the gate district, you only see elves, full elves, and once you get to the premonition brook, is when you see a bit more of a variety of people. Some half elves, human or a dwarf or two, but they all have that
blue collar.
The blue marble collar that is very ornate. But whereas you were told in the last session that they were forced to wear it.
You can't have slaves looking like slaves. They have to be ornate. Racist bastards.
Fancy.
The correct term is indentured servitude.
Involuntary help.
We do not fly ourselves. Flying is for the help.
Yeah. Because I probably realize that there are a lot of people staring at the only human roaming around stress-free with no collar, I will not really make it a mission, but I will make it a habit of those that give a really distinct stank face towards me. I will definitely sarcastically flirt back. not engaging, but just giving the look of, yeah, F you too.
So as you get away from the guards, do you use your invisibility all the way to the premonition group?
I mean, as far as it'll get me.
Yeah, you can get there with
Okay. Yeah, I would use it basically the entire way there, and then as soon as I come out, because I realized I didn't do this before, but as soon as I come out, dirty my hair again, and go back to my inner thing.
Yeah. Okay. One by one, you guys meet up at this burnt down stone husk of a temple. And
No one's following them, as far as I can tell.
go ahead and make a perception check.
I was gonna say, so Renta and I would have left the castle together, and discreetly as possible, I'd be like looking over my shoulder, seeing if I spot anybody sticking a little too close or like paying too much attention to where we're going.
I got a natural 19 for a grand total of 23. Great start of the day.
You see, as you're kind of going through the districts and going through the checkpoints, the guards, their eyes linger on you for an extra minute, but you've been here and have made a large enough stink that they all know who you are. And if anyone even like starts to think about like approaching you, one of the other guards, pull them back and they whisper to each other. It doesn't appear that anyone's following you.
Cool. Specifically when I get to the helm, I'm gonna be, like I said, keeping an eye as each of my team members approach, making sure no one is just like looking at them from alleyways in the distance.
Okay. And you don't see anyone out of the ordinary. You don't even see Revelor show up. Renta shows up eventually.
That was a fun day. So, how's everyone doing? I'm specifically looking at Creorn and Renta.
We're doing good. Did lots of reading, a little bit of studying. Got to talk with my dad for a little bit. That was awkward. Yeah.
All right. So, let's discuss the future plans here. We have a undead king trying to come back and do God knows what with an ungodly construction. We have a possible, mother who really probably still wants me dead secretly, but won't do it in front of anyone. And what's this whole your city has no kingdom? I look at Revlor. You have no king. I mean, your brother's not even king.
Yeah, it seems he's fulfilling the role of king regent, I suppose, for the moment. Acting king, or at least on the council. But yeah, it appears that we don't actually have full-on king at the moment.
It's a little hard to hear Grant.
Oh. Closer.
You weren't cutting
Anyway, sorry,
in and out, but you just got really quiet.
Got you. Okay. And sorry, you were saying?
He's taken on all of the responsibilities. It's just the rightful heir is Revelor. So until words of your well-being were discussed, he rejected the title.
Oh yeah. It would appear that he's fulfilling the role of king regent, but there is no official king as of the moment.
Right.
Well, in order to get support for stopping whatever Mittalon is doing, we'll need to root out the conspiracy, whatever that's happening, that went on. They definitely want to control your brother, but now you're here throwing in a wrench.
Which, while convenient for our plans, would also just place a large target on my back.
Right.
True.
Who do we think is conspiring against you?
At least my mother.
That's definitely a high possibility. But the main one is that you guys have a mole in your city, and we don't even know where they're at. I look at Revlor as like, you still have the note? A little welcome gift?
Oh yes, the dwarf Goldchin. I've run into him several times. He's not one that I want to tangle with lightly, but he's also against us, I think.
Well, Mittalon spoke his name specifically, so that's good.
I overheard some of the dwarves saying that the rumor has it that this Gulchin is the one that killed your
That's true. My fist will clench. To those who care to pay attention, my fist will clench a little bit.
The fact that he was able to deliver a note straight to us in a dungeon, says he's hidden pretty well in the city.
And Gulchin, we know, is one of the Ferret Fiends.
So he has connections as well.
I've heard of them. Kind of like a
A makeshift mercenary guild. I mean,
yeah.
a lot
They're-
of people's heard of them. They take very odd jobs from robbing people in fighting pits to looking for families. So it's weird. I don't really know where they stand. I think they just stand for gold, which means they could very much be against us if paid enough.
Yeah, they're half mercenary, half bandit.
Their deity was nice.
Nice and dead.
Nice and banished back to the realm from which he
Yeah.
came, maybe.
I have confidence in my magic, but I don't think I can destroy a fiend. I gave him a nice bath. With that in
Yeah.
mind,
That's a story for a different time.
very different time. What information have we been able to gather throughout the day, guys? I'm kind of sitting here on vampire lore, and that's all I got. What'd you guys do for the day?
Prepared for the meeting for tomorrow.
That's the thing we also need to talk about alone. Are we going to be simply... I mean, I've cried vampire for the past... week and a half, 2 weeks. So, not like I
mean,
haven't been telling the world.
I got some cool information. It's
Hmm?
cool in relative term.
What's that?
I'm gonna kind of look at Rinta as I say this and be like, "So you guys remember Sir Garmin?
The name rings multiple bells, yes?
Well, it turns out he has another name, which is super cool. Turns out he's a lot more well known than we thought.
What,
Because-
Lord Garmin?
Maybe more along the terms of Garmoth. The
The dragon.
And his
Yeah.
like head just turns ever so slightly. He's like,
Yeah.
uh,
Sir Garmin is Garmoth in a polymorph form.
it was... Huh.
It's been 2 weeks. I'm trying to remember who Sir Garmin is.
Sir Garmin
Renta's
is
connection.
Renta's boss.
Yes.
Oh,
And
Sir
Dandy's...
Garmin.
right. She was his apprentice or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's also like super high on the council, which makes a lot of sense because he's also the deity of the land,
Yep.
or the titan of the land.
And
Right.
Dandy's now
Have
putting
we-
together that the dragon apprentice serves under the dragon. Why didn't he connect that sooner?
Makes sense. We haven't met
Right.
him, right?
You have
Nope.
not met
Nope.
him.
We have not
He's
met
also
him
the
yet.
ruler of Duvencrane.
Oh, that's awkward.
What a very hands-off ruler.
Huh.
Crane. Aren't we? No,
He
we are
didn't even take
we're
the
in
That
effort to
was the
change his
dragon knight
name.
studying.
Right.
Garmon. How did I? Danny takes a parchment and paper and he's writing more stuff down.
I've read some history books. When dragons like to turn to humans, they don't like to change their names. I don't know why.
Names hold power.
It's a thing of pride.
And sometimes things are best hidden in plain sight. We didn't
I mean,
notice it
yeah,
because we
that's
didn't
been-
care to we didn't care to see it. So
I mean, that's pretty much how like we all met. I mean, I didn't know he was half elf. I didn't know you were king or potential. Didn't know this man has a father who apparently was on the council of many years old. And I didn't know this one was a werewolf. And I point to Otar in the background who's probably getting ready to take a nap.
I'm a what?
does he still not remember?
He's not
Okay.
gonna remember until tonight.
Oh jeez.
We'll get there. We'll get there, buddy.
What?
You're a werewolf.
Harry.
You're a werewolf, Otar.
No, you're a hairy werewolf.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
What is? How?
You know that other Titan, the Libor, who like put a good one in your shoulder, with the teeth.
He like puts the gauntlet up. This one?
That one, yes. Let's just say that teeth gave you more than just a nice hickey. Speaking of which,
He's like starting. Things are starting to like turn in his brain.
Oh yeah, because it takes only a jog of memory. That's what happened to Dandy.
Mhm.
So just to bring it up and jog the memory back.
And he takes 4 points of psychic damage.
Ow. don't think too hard, buddy. So
Zooms out a little bit.
cool. I love it. For the vampire knowledge, so I can just share it with you all now. What I got from the library of the local, castle. Yeah, vampires don't evaporate in the sun, so more nightmare fuel for me, even during the
What-
daytime.
What does happen to them in the sun?
Essentially the result of a nasty sunburn. Peely skin,
All right.
turning a little
So-
red, and
So that test that we did back in
meant
Oh,
nothing. Yeah. Oh, it gets better. They can actually polymorph, like Renta here. So they can essentially be Renta or anything they choose to be. I've been looking into this polymorph spell. I'm trying to see what its what capabilities are. It seems pretty good. And I look over at Renta, not angrily, but like, I want power. Moving on. They are resistant to anything non-magical. Looking over at Otar. So we need to upgrade him. You have your god. We have our magic, me and Revlor. And you have arrows that can do many different things. And I lost track a while ago. I apologize. I'm trying.
that's my secrets.
Yep.
Army man.
I'm one man army.
That's all I've been
I
able to
mean,
gather so far.
I have weird knowledge.
I'm down for weird.
You guys remember the house that Ethel has that like spins around a lot?
Now she magically spun it to confuse us for whatever reason. Yes.
It, it wasn't magic.
What do you mean? How else can a house move like that?
So I was talking to my dad. Like, oh, you guys remember him? Looks like me. A little
Yeah.
bit older, but doesn't look like
Hard
it.
to miss.
Yeah. He told me that Ethel has a companion, the giant crab. She builds her house on it.
Takes back out the parchment paper.
Her house
No.
is on the back of a giant crab.
Her house is a crab. That's
All roads lead to crab.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
a
like that's a reference I don't get.
it's a niche meme. Don't worry about it.
all roads lead to Rome, but in this case, all roads lead to the crab.
It's a weird scientific evolutionary theory that's like crab is the ultimate life form, and that everything evolves to be a crab. Anyway,
Could I be a king crab?
yes.
Comedy jokes to keep my sanity aside. Cool. But that also puts, Ethel back in my uncomfortable zone. I mean, by all means, we all say she's just a normal elf that can also transform her looks from the blonde, gorgeous person. But on retrospect, that whole mirror thing I've been doing for a while is also bogus. Yeah, so she could still be a vampire. I don't know. I'm skeptical on everything. We have dragons, we have monsters, we have evil elves that try and kill people because of life.
And they want to fuck you.
Who said that?
Car.
Who?
The vampires.
That is both tempting but frightening. I
even
don't
hear-
just
I mean, based
I
on
I saw it in your book.
I just like turned with a curious what?
Dandy, have you been reading the Karma Sutra again?
I haven't in a while. We've been busy, but I did read it.
Again?
You should.
Has he been reading it while we've been traveling?
I have a lot of books.
Okay.
I mean, to help settle your unease about Ethel, Alpha, you remember him, giant pentadron, freaked you out a lot.
Still don't trust him completely. Yes, continue.
Well, he really hates the vampires because he's not a fan of Marcus. He's just stuck working for Marcus. But he liked Ethel enough to give her a monodrone.
And just Dandy goes like silent slightly.
And realistically, if Ethel was a vampire, I don't think she'd be sending us to hunt down other vampires.
No, yeah, that's
Because she is the one that sent us after, dwarf with sharp teeth.
But what if there can be only one?
Oh boy.
I don't know.
that's too far stretching.
It's just so
It's
far.
while it is a possibility, I don't think it's in any likelihood.
Okay. With all this information gathered, we have to now present all this information to the council to then convince them that, hey, we need to set our differences aside when there's no clear ruler to make decisions for this place. And we need to drop everything, talk to the Iorn Garmoth, get him to start acting kingly for his kingdom to make Iorn come together to...
Dugan Crane? Iorn's human.
No, but he's in charge. He's in charge. Oh, I look at Renta in charge of Iorn.
No. Iorn's the human place.
Dugan Crane.
Yeah.
Change that.
Duvan Crane is the desert place.
No,
Yep.
that's
No.
Decry.
All the names.
Duvan Crane is
Duvan
Dwarf
Crane
land
is
of the
where you
tieflings.
teleported. It's the dragon place.
the dragon place.
Oh, isn't that just
Just south of you
south
guys.
of Altanova?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
It's where we landed first
Yeah.
to make our way up the mountain to
Yeah.
the Forgotten Place, then teleported to Altanova.
yes.
It
No,
clicked.
Droxia.
Atroxia.
Names. You knew
You
what
guys-
I meant.
Okay, you guys teleported from the Temple of Helm in Altanova to the
Duvan
Temple of
Crane.
Helm in Duvan Crane.
We then made our journey through the werewolf place up north into the Forgotten Mountains. Failed epically, but still succeeded. Teleported to Adroxia,
Yes.
and now we're there.
Gotcha. So Duvan Crane is like a small little city state. Is it?
It's another city state, but it's not small. It's about the same size of Adroxia. There's another
we
large
s-
city.
Did we spend a
sent
lot of
Ethel
time
to
there,
go
or
to
did we
the
just
human.
teleport and leave?
You guys spent one session there, and you guys.
We
left
spent one day.
the session.
Yeah. Okay.
We were waiting for Renta to arrive because we arrived a little early, and so she had to
Right. That's why
fly in.
That's why I'm not remembering anything about this city, because we
Yeah.
just left. Okay.
I stayed in the temple to read and learn. So that's what I did while you guys did whatever in the city. But besides that, we have to now convince the council, and then we still have to talk to the human kingdom of Iorn. We sent Ethel, I believe, to pre-talk, but we kind of haven't heard from her in a while.
Yeah, we don't know
actually-
if she's intercepted or not.
Be able
Yeah,
to talk to her a lot easier if Manny wasn't dead.
I think Alpha could just send us another Manny.
On
If we
that
could get a hold
note,
of him.
after that spicy comment was nicely shot through the arrows of the hearts of Dandy, he will turn, take a few steps away, and I will cast Sending towards Ethel. Oh, my person who sent us on this magical journey, how is your day doing in Iorn? Any luck? Because we got thrown into a dungeon, saved by a dragon, and now discussing whether or not this place is safe.
You wait for a moment for a reply. Travel has been a little slow. I just made it past Tydell.
Tydell?
Another week I should be in Calphion.
You think with her being on the council, it's like I'm mumbling this audibly enough where anyone nearby can hear. You think that if you have all this power to change your image, to go around, to live as long as you do, you think you'd invest in some teleportation spells to get there faster? Nah, you're taking the slow journey, probably walking on your giant crab house that you have. She's a week out, and I turned to the group, and so she's not even there yet.
Great. Can you have her talk to her monodrone and see if
I'm out of
Help?
I'm out of sending spells.
You didn't lead with that.
Due to what?
getting another
I'm not treating them like they're on back orders. I wasn't thinking, hey, can you send another living dream, automa drone, whatever, with an eyeball like Manny to make him look exactly and sound the same. I don't.
I mean,
Maybe
we
it-
don't need another Manny. We just need another Manny.
You hear
That's
Renta speak up. This is great. I'm glad that we're having this meeting because you guys are master planners.
We're not. And I look at her. It's like we
Fucking
have
joke.
been dragged into this chaos. I am supposed to be sipping alcohol, sitting next to a potential love of my life, and not having to worry about the fate of the world. More like worrying about who's the next person I get to pickpocket. Which store am I going to open? What am I going to set my prices for my items are? Instead, I am here trying to save a world with a country who quite literally would love me in the blue collar that they have every other human at. So excuse me if I am not planning for things.
Are you done complaining?
I'm gonna
Yes,
look at Renta
no,
with a smirk
maybe, and I
and just
sit
be
down.
like, isn't it a miracle we got this far?
It is quite astounding.
And that's why we call ourselves the Lucky Ducks.
Back to the matter at hand. I think we have our solution pretty close at hand. I just sort of gesture to Revelor. We have the king. This Adroxia is not kingless. He's right here.
Well, they might try and kill him.
Well,
The
that's
problem
why.
with bringing it to the council is your mom,
Right.
Carolia, something like that,
Yeah.
is on the council.
Right.
She apparently has a lot of pull, considering how she was able to throw us into a dungeon with little to no repercussions.
Oh, she definitely has pull, but yes,
So that
people
that
might-
causes problems. If we're trying to voice to the council our plans to go against her actions, it's either not going to be a surprise anymore, or she's going to use her pull to shut down our efforts.
then we need to discredit her. Talk to other members on the current council.
Oh yeah, Renta.
Renta's not on the council, but she is a way
Armin
to.
is.
I was gonna say,
So we're back to
Does-
0.
does Sir Garmin have enough power to help us discredit Caralia? Looking at Renta,
Yeah.
would he help us?
Yes.
Who all is on the current council? The current council is Kara so and so, Mommy.
So the current head members of the Thornwood Council is Galen, your brother, Caralia, your mother, Benron, he's in charge of our outer city protection and our military.
You're like going in and out.
Brother, mother, Benron.
So
Yeah, there's
Revelor's bro.
yep, Galen. Caralia, your mother, who's in charge of law. Benron, who's in charge of military and basically outer city protection.
Of Adroxia.
Yes. Sir Garmin holds the seat for trades and goods. Legenti is in charge of science and magic. And Selfie, who I don't think you guys were introduced, but you at least met this morning. She's in charge of the Crown's Guard and the Navy. And we are currently missing a seat. They disappeared when Ephemeral was killed.
And what power
Do we
is
have
that
a
missing
name?
seat?
Diplomacy. They were in charge of communication between the other councils, the other kingdoms.
Do we have a
They would
name?
Disappear.
Mm-hmm. Who used to hold that seat?
And this is the Council of Adroxia specifically.
Yes, this is the Thornwood Council.
Thornwood.
It was Galecki that was in charge of diplomacy.
Galecki.
Uh,
Charge of diplomacy. And then in charge of magic and Queen's Guard, what was their names?
So science and magic was
Magenta.
Legenti.
Magenti?
Yeah, Legenti.
L? Legend?
yeah, I butchered.
Legenti. Is in charge of science and magic.
Charge of science. And alright, and then Crown's Guard captain was
Crown's Guard and Navy is
Mhm.
Selfie. CELPHIE.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got all that
almost
down,
spelled
sweet.
one correct.
Not even close.
They all have a lot of weird names here.
Fantasy. Sure. Anyway, okay, so those are the council. Diplomacy went missing. Let's see. For the law and justice, those that actually have lived here know how the laws and everything somewhat work here at least. Why don't one of you two, looking at Connor Creorn, why don't one of you two try and see if you can work your way into that open slot?
Oh, I have never lived here.
Oh, looking at Connor.
Just a little bit of backstory here. The whole reason I grew up in Iorn was because my father was banished because he fell in love with a human, which it was too early. So I guess even before Carolia's,
Slaughter.
iron rule
Slaughter.
or her, yeah, it wasn't really, it wasn't good times if an elf and a human were in relations. Like, they could have trades, but it was not great. They wanted to very much so keep bloodlines pure. And so my dad was banished, and it was just recently lifted after his brother was killed. When Ephemerial was killed, up until then, Ephemerial and Orion had to meet in secret. And Nysala, was it Nysala? Revelor's mom.
I don't
Nysel.
know.
It's Zark, isn't it?
Revelor's mom.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh,
Nysala.
Revlor.
Yeah.
Nysala, the current queen and Revelor's mom, lifted the banishment after Ephemerial was killed, and that allowed Orion to come back to help with Galen.
Right.
So they will not be happy with either one of us being on the council.
I mean, you gotta ask the question, if this was going on even before the chaos happening of wanting to keep bloodlines pure, I'm surprised your mother even decided to get with a human male looking at Connor.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about how they got together. I
But that
know that
could-
once, yeah, we asked how we did discredit her, and I think I'm it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would work out though, because she was loyal, quote unquote, to her kingdom by kind of, personally killing your father, her husband.
Right, we need more, and I don't, with how we sort of entered the, entered this city, I don't think any of us are going to get that open seat.
And the thing
I
is, we
think we'll
have
to work
no.
to put someone there.
The number one thing that stuck with me from the last time we talked to this council from coming from the dungeon is that we need proper evidence. All we have is hearsay. The only person we need was Ethel, but she's still on her beat journey to Ior. We have no evidence. We have hearsay. We have personal testimonies at best.
So,
And the blueprints.
right, we don't have much right now.
The blueprints doesn't really prove that Mittalon is real and it's a vampire and trying to take over. It doesn't really prove that the Titans were essentially controlled by whatever those leech things were from this crazy thing in the water. It was deep below. I don't know how Libor described it.
How about this? We make it known the Revelor is who he is. Yes, attempts to ruin him or murder him are going to come up. That's why we're ready for them. We try to catch them in the act, find information, connect it back to whoever is linking it. We use him, as bait almost.
But let's look at this from
Crazy.
an objective perspective. If we do use him as a bait, we have to have confidence that we will be able to keep this bait from being bitten. Let's go under the worst case scenario. Everyone on the council besides your family, Revlor, are trying to kill us. We can get a few of them off the board of who can and cannot or will not go against you if you decide to become king. Obviously, your mother and brother will keep you alive and don't mind you ascending the throne. We have Sir Garmoth, who is Renta's apprentice, who might side with her and say you should rule. That's 2 elven deities, 1 dragon. High ruler, or whatever you want to call him. Then we have to deal with 4 other people. One of them being Mother, who has already said her piece of not caring that you are a potential king as she dropped you into a dungeon. So we have to essentially convince 3 other people to... Actually, 2 other people. No, 3. 3 other people decide with us. Otherwise, this is all for point. And to make matters worse, all 3 of them have to deal with the logistics of essentially military personnel. 1 military, 1 navy and Crown's Guard, and 1 magic person. All who have known your mother, the court of quote-unquote justice and law, for a civilization of background and lore and knowledge, whatever respect you elves have that I, as a human, have no idea. I'm not leading this conversation well.
Lore thoughts?
Well, I don't really necessarily like the idea of being used for bait, but it may be necessary. It's crazy enough to get us killed, but it's also crazy enough to work.
Benron is reasonable. He'd probably be able to offer a few soldiers and could follow you back into Ayorn and investigate, collect evidence on what you have on Mittalon.
I also remember that some of the evidence that we were thinking of looking for may actually be here. I do remember at one point. This is out of character now. I'm trying to remember. Somebody told us to like search the place, basically. And
I have that. Hold on.
yeah, and I also seem to remember that like I think
Ethel.
Mittalon's crown might be somewhere around here, like in the like kept with the things that my father basically kept as treasurer.
Yeah. Ethel told you to search everything, and Ephemeral was the treasurer of the original council.
Right.
All
and
right.
so he would have been the one who had things like the crown of Mittalon, which might be something that would be, even if it's not the most amazing of evidence, that would be certainly useful to have in the days to come.
So how about this as a general game plan? We try to get in the good favor of the council members that we can. Meanwhile, look for more evidence around here. Connections to Mittalon, connections to the Titan, the Crown.
Speaking of things to find, I did find something very curious in my room. There's a safe in there that I was unable to open. Connor,
I could probably open it.
Connor, I think you were in there in my room briefly. That painting where I sensed
Oh,
the magic,
yeah.
the magic coming from. There was a safe behind that painting, and it seemed to have 4 kind of magical locks on it. I'm not quite sure how they work, but I don't think it's coincidence that this safe is in the room that I ended up in. Might be worth it trying to figure out how to unlock this safe. Maybe what we're looking for, or at the very least something useful maybe inside.
Right. Gotta find 4
imagine
magic keys then.
It's even possible my father maybe have left me something in there, knowing that if I came back, I would have access to that room.
Maybe. So, we need to get in the good graces of Dandy. Who would you say is the 4 we need to look for?
We need to look for
Venti, Selfie, the military at least.
Mhm.
We need the military, science and magic,
Fenron,
and
Legenti,
yeah,
Selfie.
Venron, Legenti, and Selfie. That's the military and magic divisions.
Well, as far as I know from militaries, if we give them a threat to face, they may unify behind that, and that is something we certainly bring. That once again goes back to evidence. Showing
Right.
them that there is a threat to face, we might be able to unite them together.
We've been, every time we've gone somewhere, there's always been some problem that needs to be fixed. Undead, vampires, name it. I bet these people have some sort of problem we might be able to help with. We help them out, prove that we're not just here to murder their guards, and be able to get some information, get in their
Yes.
good graces.
I think of the 3, Selfie is going to be the hardest to convince because we kind of did murder the Crown's Guard. Or were those just regular military? Looking at
They're
Rinta
definitely
and
dungeon
Revelor,
keepers.
were they military or were they Crown's Guard?
They were
Because-
lower ranking Crown's Guard.
Okay. So yeah, Selfie's going to be the hardest for us to make amends with because that was.
We didn't
That was
exactly
weird.
put our best foot forward.
Yeah.
We were all really emotional and it was messy. So,
And
focus
then
on those 3. If we can get their confidence, along with the others on the council that are already somewhat friendly with us, We can suss out who else is, heck, maybe one of those three or all of them. I don't know. Some of them may be part of this conspiracy to keep control of Adroxia.
We also should see if we can figure out somebody to fill Galecki's seat.
Right. We need to find someone, not us. Perhaps Revelor, but he might take his brother's seat when things are said and done. We need to find somebody of good repute.
Well, not only that, the main person for diplomacy is actually to travel, have diploma. I don't think any of them are going to actually be willing, or any of these elves are going to be willing to go talk to humans and others to say, hey, why don't we drop the spears after we all believe the others sent titans to destroy our kingdom? However, we are going to be constantly on the move, so, we can keep it as a side job. I don't know.
You think you could be on that seat, Dandy?
They wouldn't allow me on that seat.
No,
Although I would
but-
not mind being on that seat. Things I can do on that seat.
Hey,
Fact that-
Revelor.
Stop thinking about the Karma Sutra.
Sorry.
What if you were to temporarily, until this situation was resolved, what if you were to take Galecki's diplomacy seat? It would allow you to travel.
Mhm.
And until we can get this matter resolved, Galen, with my dad's help, seems to be doing okay here. What if you took the diplomacy seat?
You'd be talking about a relatively permanent residence here in Adroxia. And that's assuming the council votes him in.
And that would
Really?
be
It's
basically
not-
giving up his kingship, wouldn't it?
Uh,
Him on the throne is far more valuable than him in a council seat, isn't it?
Well, I was just thinking as a temporary agreement with the council of, I guess I was thinking more of ambassadorship than diplomacy.
Yeah, ambassador would be the best bet. Like, the diplomacy person would be stuck here? How are you getting any work done?
By sending in groups of people like yourself to be diplomatic.
I would probably do that. If I was in charge, I'd probably do that in person. I mean, what shows more
Yes.
great respect and honor than, I'm the person that, you talk to?
It's
Quick
ironic.
way to keep having to, revolving door on that seat.
Also, just circling back to what's up with Galecki disappearing at the same time as Ephemeral died? Was it suspicion that he killed Ephemeral? What's the general suspicion about that, Renta?
Given the information that you guys have told me, I'm kind of wondering if Caralia had something to do with it.
Of course she did. Having
Yeah.
someone get murdered, another person disappearing at the same time is not coincidence.
I didn't
And
even
it is-
ask.
it
Was
is
Galenchi
awful.
even human? Elf?
Galecki was an elf.
Okay, so wasn't just right up, genocided, but considering how your father was also elf and was murdered by probably someone close, I assumed it was just safe to say that he was also murdered, but that's just my own
Other than
paranoia at this point.
Other than Sir Garmin, the only person on the council who is not an elf is Benron.
Oh, what's he?
He's a cat, feline.
X?
Yeah, he resides in some of the more druidic parts of.
Is he a big cat or a small cat?
Pretty big.
Pretty big.
Tougher?
Look, my brain
Buffer?
went. My first thought was that black cat that released the half giants, and I was
Sure.
like, did this guy
Ugh.
really just create an issue
I'm
for
not
his
even.
own
yeah,
guard? He's like, go training exercise.
So let me get this straight. He's a druidic tabaxi, charge of military. We talking, is he a strong individual himself? Does he strictly use magic?
He's quite versatile.
Do you like use binding at all? Swing both ways.
I wouldn't know.
Interesting that a
Put a pin on it.
druid is in charge of the military and navy.
Doesn't happen to have blue fur, does he?
He does.
What?
Blue fur.
And
that
he's
means
not in
something.
charge of the Navy.
Am I?
No, Selfie is in charge of the Navy. He's in charge of the
Does-
military.
Does Venron ever leave the capital?
I thought Selfie was.
Selfie was in charge of Navy and Crown's Guard.
Yes.
Venron is outer city.
Oh,
protector.
Fenron is
Military and outer city,
Gotcha.
yep.
Yeah, I was.
He is the land people. Would love to land on his people. Anyway,
Venron doesn't leave the capital, right? Like he stays pretty, or at least he stays in Ephron.
I've never thought to ask.
Has anyone seen him in like the last, let's say, week and a half, 2 weeks?
Probably.
why, Detective Creorn, where are you going with this?
Well, we've kind of seen recently a blue furred tabaxi druid.
When?
In the arena,
Yeah,
I almost had Style eat him.
and I think
Wait, was that the one Chitu kind of like chomped on a little?
Yeah,
I was a little salty at that bastard.
that was a Blueford Tabaxi druid.
Oh.
For being a council member, he didn't put up that much of a fight.
I mean, if he is a council member, one of two things. One, he is a council member, and now we're not going to get in his good graces because we kind of like overkilled him. Not killed him literally, but I kind of
Yeah.
something like cheated on him.
Maybe it impressed him.
Or better, and what I mean better, worse, that could be a sibling or a child of his, like a son or something, and we messed him up and will also not be in his good graces.
Maybe we impressed him. Maybe no, probably.
maybe
not.
it's maybe.
All right, new plan. We
Maybe,
have to figure out how to make Legenta and Sylphia get in our side in case we recognize him when we meet him.
Or we need to find a way to make sure that their support doesn't matter. After all, the council is majority rules. As long as we get enough people on our side, people who don't like us won't matter.
well, we've got 2 down so far.
And
3,
unfortunately,
if we can convince oh no, his mother doesn't have a seat. Never mind. 2.
No.
Yep, you're right.
and unfortunately, with the seat of diplomacy missing, it's 6.
I was gonna say
if
it's
there is
an
a
even
tie-
council.
If there's a tie, nothing changes.
Hmm.
So,
Said it's awful convenient that the head of diplomacy would go missing right as my father was killed.
Oh no, I figured he was killed along with your father.
Yeah.
so
I mean, during the whole chaos of every other place being attacked by Titans, controlled, of course. Looking at Renta. No way to be able to communicate. The best way to do that is get rid of the diplomacy person, because
Yeah,
then
but,
no one will pursue. No,
Famriel was
communicating.
just recently killed. The attacks were 20 years ago.
Ephemeral
Especially-
died real recently.
Well, like we kept them
Especially-
saying, why didn't they send spies or whatever? The spies will probably be part of the diplomacy. But now that he's gone, no one's even caring to go and solve this matter.
So, we're game plan as of now. We will meet and talk about things. We'll have to play this by ear, but it sounds like we focus on Fenron, Legenti, and Selfie. Look for evidence about Mittalon. Try to figure out conspiracy against Ephemeral and Galecki.
But we also got to keep an eye out for our special dwarven friend, Gulchin.
And keep an eye out for Goldchin. There's got to be
Renta-
problems we can help, something we can do.
Rinta, do you know of any other? Have you heard of someone named Goldchin in the city recently, or is that like a common name around here?
Not really. I mean, I've heard you guys talk about the name, but I don't think I've heard it since before then.
Okay.
But how does that sound as a game plan? Make
I
ourselves
think
useful, get information.
I think we'll be best starting off with Selfie and Legenti. We need to make amends with Selfie for killing the Crown's Guard.
I'm not
Or
apologizing.
Right, so
Then
Danny doesn't
just-
come along for that part.
I was gonna
That's
say
the
then
smartest thing.
stay silent.
Yep.
We need to talk with Selfie and Legenti. Do we want to go as a team or do we want to split up?
I don't know. Revlor says something about a safe. I wouldn't mind taking a crack at it. Take a mind off all the, things I can't be in control of. So
I think if we split up, either groups of 2 or groups of 1, if there's something we can do to help them go out, do whatever, we'll gather the rest of us up. But splitting up and moving might be the fastest way.
I can try talking to Selfie. I've got maybe some military experience, like can put me on a shareable level.
that's
Yeah,
definitely an idea.
Legenti, I know nothing about magic.
I can talk to her about
Um,
magic. And you learn some too anyway. So,
I'm
Double bonus.
looking at commonalities.
Sounds like, yeah, and Danny, it sounds like you and I are together for the safe, so we may as well try to go together to Legenti for magic and science talk. Possibly.
yeah.
so I'll
that
go
works.
with
Are you guys
Go with
talking about
Creon
doing
to
this
Selfie then.
tonight?
No,
As
tomorrow.
As
Yeah.
soon as possible. But tonight's probably just safe cracking and
tomorrow,
planning for tomorrow.
next day, next week if it takes.
Yep, we're
Well-
kind of on a standstill at this point because until we get back up from your kingdom, we really have no power to move forward and trying to take on an undead vampire, bringing over a construct that was considered a colossus.
There
Oh
is the meeting
yeah,
tomorrow. I mean, we need to have something to present at the meeting tomorrow.
That's what I was gonna mention. Is it's gonna be hard to get with any of the council members. They're all going to be preparing for tomorrow's
What's this meeting tomorrow about?
meeting. About everything that you guys have bring forward about Revelor being home.
Right.
So we either need to talk to him super early tomorrow, or we have to go in and talk to him now.
What time is it again?
Very difficult.
At this point, it's about 6:30.
yep, that's about right.
I mean, I guess we go try and talk to them now. I mean, so you'd be meeting, talking about the very lackluster evidence we brought forth about Mittalon, the blueprints, and a whole bunch of hearsay.
Yeah.
What would the decisions be? Help them out or not help them out? Is it investigate ourselves or leave it alone? Is there a specific topic on the floor or just open discussion about it?
I mean, everyone's coming forward with their own personal business, but mostly open for discussion and how we can help each other. So if you guys need manpower to go investigate Mittalon in this construct, then like tomorrow is where we could set that plan. If
Keep
you
fading
guys-
in and out.
Sorry, trying to do a higher pitched voice. If you guys are trying to go and investigate Mittalon's castle in this construct, then tomorrow would be the time to facilitate the assistance with that. Um, if you guys need trade goods from other areas, it's very business orientated, but if you guys are bringing something forward for diplomacy, we have to look at it. We should be able to offer assistance with investigation if you don't have the evidence now. If you can give a pleading case, shouldn't be a problem.
Having the son of the former killed king might help in that play as well.
Well, if we need to send them in locations, we can always send them to the mansion in the desert.
But even if they vote for us, even if they believe us and give us all the help we need, there was still the conspiracy and coup against the king. We have to root that out, or we're just going to be killed along with dealing with Mittalon. They're going to take the credit. Reveler's going to be dead. Same with the rest of us. We have to root that out before we move forward.
Though, it does actually bring up a decent point. We know there's at least one person on the council who would just rather see us dead. What are the motivations of everyone else on the council? If we can figure those out, we can at least get enough of them to vote for us to help explore the possibility. We may even be able to get Carolia to go along with it if we make her think we're being put in a dangerous situation ourselves where we might die. We need to learn their motivations. That way we can get them to support our investigation.
It's incredibly wise.
I am 180 years old.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, some of us remember the days of old.
I'm just
I mean-
remembering you're all old.
Even just making educated guesses, we can think that the military-minded people are going to be thinking about national defense. If we can at least make it sound plausible enough that the entirety of Mittalon is in danger, which would include the Elvish Kingdom, it's something they can't retreat from, then I think that would warrant at least a few soldiers and a few agents to go exploring. Probably, even if they don't necessarily like us, we may be able to get the military people on our side with that angle. The magic and science may be a little bit more difficult. But
I mean, we could get them on an intrigued standpoint. Because realistically, how much is really known about the constructs?
maybe
Yeah,
the
we can definitely
blueprints
introduce them to Alpha.
yeah, and the
No,
blueprints may
I
come
wasn't
in
even
handy.
thinking the drones, but just the Khatum. Just the essence of Khatum. Like let me rack my brain here for a second, meaning I'm gonna check my notes because yeah.
Do I still have the blueprints, or did I give them to somebody? Did I
I
just
think
show
you
them?
showed them, but you kept them.
Okay, I'll pull them out now. I'm going to hand them over to Reveler. Since your guys are going to.
The elves were attacked by constructs and dragons at the beginning of the war.
Or the Gentile.
The science and magic divisions will want as much information as they can gather about the constructs. So we can say that we will investigate for them the source and power behind the constructs so that they can build a better defense. That gets both the science and the military on our sides.
Andy, do you still have that conch shell?
Yes. Quick listen.
Roll a 1d100.
Oh.
Magic conch, what do we do?
Magic conch.
You hear the sound of waves.
23%.
You hear the sound of the waves.
Wait a minute. Nope, still doesn't sound like the ocean. Oh, show her it.
Bring that tomorrow.
Sure. I'll bring the pink decorative seashell. Put it back in the pouch.
Okay, out of character. Didn't somebody have a vision or a conversation about the castle?
I really hope I'm pointing the right. Nope, wait,
What castle?
that way.
The one that was just outside of Aboon.
Pretty sure that was me.
Yep.
Wasn't it with your god?
Yeah. I don't remember. Ethan doesn't remember too much about the vision about the castle, though.
Or
You're talking
it
about
was
the one from when he was in prison? Just now? Like two
There
sessions
was-
ago?
yeah, somebody
I was like flying over.
had a vision or a somebody had a vision or a dream about the castle that we saw. Oh no, the painting. The painting showed a castle.
Mittalon's castle?
Yeah, it showed Mittalon's castle. I think it was the painting.
Yeah, it's the painting over the safe.
Yeah. So
Oh.
maybe there's something that we can play off of that.
We're jogging memories
But
of
also-
someone here who has
also-
like major information.
Creorn doesn't know anything about this. I'm just trying to
Yep.
jog somebody else's memory.
Yeah, if we're jogging other people's memories, someone has information that can help Dandy just like explode with knowledge.
I say Connor. Yeah.
Did I even see?
Metagaming
I think
pigeon.
I saw the painting, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You and I focused on it because it was in my room and it was
Right.
there was magic coming from it. So, and I pointed it out. So.
What was that painting of the castle? Revlor, in your room, the one hiding the safe.
Oh, the painting of, I think that was Mittalon's castle at one point, I believe.
You mean the castle where that whatever gnome or halfling was living, according to legends?
Right. That
I believe it
gnome
was-
took over.
It looked very similar. I mean, the painting obviously is a much older capture, but the geography looks basically the same. The castle looks about the same.
You think the magic keys are in the castle? Painting shows where they are, and shows the safe of what you.
I mean,
I
I've
was
heard
just
worse-
gonna.
I've heard worse theories.
That sounds like a drawing of a key.
Like a map.
Like completely useless. But
Yeah, I was just gonna attempt to dispel the magic locks, check for traps, and then just listen to the dial and open it up. I am skilled with opening safes.
It's a surprise.
I would hope
It's not.
that locking magic would be able to withstand a simple dispelling, but hey, it's worth a shot.
It did appear to be a fairly heavy-duty magical safe, but I mean, I would still value your input.
there was magic inside of the safe. The safe was not magical.
Okay.
Oh, then I can just
Oh.
go after it, and check for traps, and
There's 4 locks, but they aren't magical locks.
we talking keyholes or dials? Because the dial ones are a little tricky. As long as
Neither.
it's quiet, I should be good.
They look. I think they were more described like slots, basically. Like
They're just
something
deadbolts,
should
you know.
fit.
You just twist them.
There was
Or weren't they objectal shapes? You have to find objects to put
yeah,
things in.
yeah,
That's
there
what I
were
mean.
4 shapes.
They looked like essentially holes where you had to put certain shaped things inside.
Yeah.
It's a Resident Evil puzzle. Okay.
I have
All
something I have something in mind for that. I can work with that.
Square goes into the square hole.
And then the circle goes into. That's right, the square
Square
hole.
hole.
The triangle
no.
goes into. That's right.
That's right, the square hole.
I think my favorite version of that is someone did that, and it was like my D&D players, and then the square hole was violence.
Violence. Yes.
Diplomacy
option.
goes into. That's right, violence.
What? Oh, there's a lost child looking for her mother? That's right, violence.
That's great. I have something in mind for that as well if we need to. We'll cross that bridge when it gets there.
So tonight, you two go talk to Legenti. Take
Sure.
the blueprints. Try to interest him. Me and
Um,
Orion, not
just-
Orion. Cute.
Who's cute?
I'm starting to take some offense here.
Krioran.
Who's cute? What was that?
my brain just was like, it starts with a K, and that's all you're getting. Krioran.
We
go
have been
to
together
Selkie.
for how long? We have been through how many dangerous missions?
I
and
pulled you
can't
along to
remember
help
my
fight
name?
some skeletons, man. I don't care.
You're hitting on him and not me?
I'm not hitting on nobody.
You called him
I hired you so I could get a fucking passport, and
Yeah.
I don't even have it anymore.
I don't have it. I left it with my horse.
Oh my gosh, you don't even have your passport.
No, I left it with my
Man.
horse.
Man doesn't have a passport. He doesn't have a
Glenn.
star. This guy's missing out the whole campaign.
Good luck, Connor.
But before it gets too late, we should probably go do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hope you understand. I have to stay.
Neutral.
Yes. So.
Yep.
You were on your own for.
You
Gotta
can't
love the
talk to Sir
politics.
Garmin on our behalf.
Sir Garmin will be on your half, and frankly, so will Benron and Selfie. Once we described that leech thing that we took off of Lieber.
You mean Fenron?
Benron.
Is
Yeah,
Benron
Benron.
is
Benron's the
is
name. Ben.
Military.
Uncle Ben. Yep. Ben Ron.
Whoops.
Yeah. Benran.
Benron.
I really
So
messed that one up.
I
thought it was-
close.
I thought it was a V
Okay.
like Victor, so I was like, Venron. Okay.
I was like Fenron.
Shao Kahn. What?
Well, then I guess the big one is Selfie and Legenti. Connor, you're
Well-
with me for Selfie?
Me and Revlor will go to Legenti. Otar, feel free to, try and figure out how to keep your wolf form under control. Go on a soul search journey. I don't know. Take Cheetah
through
with
the-
you. Have a companion. Why not?
Through like through your guys' conversation, you'd like look over to Otar, and he's just like.
That's
No.
no. You have to get enraged. You did it when you were like ripping bandits apart. That's when it happened.
I have to rage.
Oh, no.
Not now.
Oh, Dandy.
I am informational. I am not logical.
So who am I following?
Follow
What's
your
that?
heart.
Was that Otar that just
Yeah.
spoke? Otar,
No.
have you ever heard of meditating?
Medication?
Is that some type of
It-
food?
It's like
Very-
napping,
it's-
but
it's
thinking
very
about what you're
similar.
napping about.
Take a nap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
take-
But
Taking a
think
nap.
about what you're napping about.
Think about battle while you're sleeping. Actually, with the werewolf, don't do that.
Don't do
Think
that.
So I should rage.
No. Think about food. No, don't do that either. Think about.
You guys
think
are
about
confusing me.
Thinking. Think about thinking.
Think about Otar. Just
What do you-
think of yourself.
Think about what you want to do in all this, Otar. I mean,
Try to remember everything.
Hurts.
Just go through
your
the
time.
past few months. Just
go for
over
a
it all.
walk, drink some ale, whatever you need to do, but just think on it.
Remember everything, all the way to the Valkyries and before.
But what?
You're the one who helped him figure out what the Valkyries were.
The Valkyries were his old squad. He was part of Valkyrie squad, and that's the battle that he got mortally wounded in and lost most of his memories, including his name. Yeah.
I completely blocked out the Valkyrie
Yeah.
part. I just knew he fought werewolves.
Valkyrie were like the Black Ops of the Iron Army.
Got it. All right.
We're like
Yeah.
kind of bullying the special needs kids right now.
Are we
You guys are
in?
doing this. You guys are doing this. Where am I going? take a nap.
No, it's more like lift some weights, find your inner self, get swole. But in this case, he's already swole, so get woke. I don't know.
Get swollen in the head.
Yeah.
Get brain swole. When you level up, put points into intel. Even you.
Such a waste.
He's got to get out of the negative someday.
We'll find him a helm of intelligence at some point, or a circlet of
Oh,
intelligence.
and then
like
he's
an
just
armband.
then
Doesn't
just
that
big
like bump
brain
you
of
up
the
to like
group.
19 regardless of where you are or something?
Yeah.
Man just
Makes you
gets all his
super smart.
memories back.
Oh god, that'd be terrifying.
Immediately finds out he was working with Mittalon.
Oh,
Oh right, I'm a spy this whole time.
I forgot I was supposed to kill you.
take it off.
Shoot,
Take it off.
Holds up an axe and starts whacking.
I haven't been reporting in. Oops.
All right. So Otar takes Chitu and heads back to the castle.
Beat him, please.
Huh?
Beat him, please. Don't just ignore him. He's friendly.
Feed him, please.
You say that, and Otar looks to Chitu. What's for dinner?
I will literally go in my bag, take all of the remaining common meat I have. 1 piece every 6 hours. Please. It's expensive.
You got really nice steaks.
Don't eat them. I beg. I take out the other half. This is all of our ration. Other half of just regular dried meat. This is
Don't
for
worry.
you.
There's a whole cafeteria in the castle.
But I don't want him
No,
eating the common
Otar-
meat. Just only give it to
Otar
Chitu.
looked to because you said feed him. So Otar looked to Chitu and said, "What's for dinner?"
But with the common meat, Chitu can actually speak to him, and that's what I want. But I don't want Otar to
Okay.
eat the meat.
They run off.
They run off.
Oh boy.
Ugh.
As they leave, I'm just gonna be watching them and go. That was a bold move.
I'm not thinking straight.
What happens if a werewolf gets loose in the castle?
Then we're gonna have to stop him from killing anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't gotten laid in months. I
On that note, bye. And Renta leaves.
What do you think? Reveler, do you think Magenta swings both ways? I don't know.
honestly, not something I've ever thought about.
Legenti.
Certainly try.
Elves are big on their names. Legenti.
Not Legenda.
I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna call her L.
Well,
Anyway, I know how we started. How like we, sort of murdered a whole bunch of guards when we first came here.
I murdered a whole bunch of guards.
I didn't
Continue.
really say this before, but Helm didn't really like that. Like he kind of told me, like really explicitly.
wait, so you're
Your god told you that he doesn't like killing.
Well,
your god
sort of-
spoke directly to you.
yeah, it was kind of a
That's
chewing
weird.
out.
I don't remember you
really.
killing anyone.
Oh yeah, you didn't see it. I kind of crushed her head and had Style eat her.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys fell down the hole.
Oh.
Yeah. So what I gathered from his chewing out was that he doesn't really care about races. He's the god of protection, and it's about protecting everybody. And that includes the elves from Mittalon and any other evils that would crop up.
As we sit in this broken down old Helm temple.
Oh, he's not happy about this. He was the one who pointed me to this and made me want to come here and check it out. but he still. It's
Just,
about protecting everybody, so don't think that elves are. You can toss them to the wolves and.
Oh, absolutely
fine.
not. I'm like I've mentioned it before, and I still hold true. I don't really care what race you're from. I'll sleep with anyone. So, there's really no difference between bloodline.
At least you don't discriminate,
I really don't.
Yep, and I think the point that sounds like, in Helm's eyes, the guards were protecting their kingdom.
They were doing their duty.
We didn't have a right to kill them.
I don't know. You take any person, well, noble or not, you throw them into a dungeon, threaten their lives, and simply told them to surrender. I really don't think anyone would just simply roll over. And if they would, they'd probably be dead.
We did a little more than refusing to roll over. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out, in case we get caught up in anything.
Oh yeah, you got to keep up with your god. That makes sense. You shouldn't kill. Yeah.
He's
preemptive.
unhappy,
No, killing evildoers, I think, is fine to protect others, but we sort of. I wasn't doing my duty. I was not upholding really what I believe in, and.
Oh, you should hold true to that. I'll help you out with that. If anything ever goes wrong, I'll help you steer clear from making sure you don't have to make hard decisions. It's good.
then before we leave his temple, if he's unhappy with us, is there anything we should do? Do we pray to him? Do we... I don't know, does Helm do offerings?
Does Helm do offerings? Or is it... I would think a god of protection, the way to worship a god of protection would be to do that. Protecting would be to help others. But in no one right now to help protect in this burned building. I mean, I'm the one that's really, following him. He didn't seem too happy with you guys either, but
I mean, that's fair. No one really is happy with me.
All I know is I haven't killed anyone the entire time we've been here.
True.
Yeah, he's probably fine with you.
Yep.
Nothing.
Anyway, well, if you're willing to help with any problems, he also wasn't really happy about sort of shrug his arm that Style is on. As much as a useful weapon, Style is, and a monster on the battlefield, I don't think I should have him anymore. His nature kind of brings out the worst in me. So.
You want to trade?
Or just.
I mean, my shield isn't. Well, my shield belongs to someone's heirloom, probably.
Connor and I just traded items, and you do have a different shield now.
Oh yes, I do have another shield.
Yep, because you gave me the eagle eyes, and I gave you that one shield.
Where did I put it?
It was just a standard +1 shield.
I mean, if you want to get rid of Styles, I can. I don't mind holding on to him. I can feed him.
Dwarven shield, fancy.
I think, as a whole, maybe the best thing would be to not have Style active with us anymore. If Helm wasn't happy about it.
Well, Helm wasn't happy about him eating humans. You don't have to feed him humans. I don't feed Chitu humans. I feed him meat.
It's feeding him anybody.
You don't have to feed him people. Feed him animals. We hunt all the time. I'll take him. You guys don't know how to take care of people and pets.
Yeah, he'll take Style off and hand him over.
Has Style ever spoken before?
I think I fed
Yeah.
him the talking meat before,
Yeah,
and I still have a whole bunch of it.
It was in while you guys were in the cart.
I will take out another. Did we retcon the entire me handing all of my common meat to Otar, or did that actually
Yeah.
happen?
No,
So we did
retcon
retcon.
that.
All right. So I'll take out some of the meat, a small little cube, which means I only have. Let me check real quick. Oh no, I'm down to only half.
I have
Alright.
tons of talking meat I can give you
If
need
you
it.
have common,
say,
I'll buy
I
them off you. Yeah. But
I was gonna say I also have meat, but I don't know, the way that it was described, it sounded more like jerky to me than like a meat.
No.
Meat was.
meatloaf.
It's like a meatloaf.
Yeah, it's meatloaf.
I have 5 slices of orc, gnomish, common, and goblin. One.
I will take your common and. Well, just a common for now. I'll take your common. I will give you if you want. How much gold do you want for it?
How much gold you got?
No,
No, I
that's a
have.
dangerous
I have.
question.
I have money. I don't care. This is just party supplies.
I'll make our next adventure. I'll make you something delicious.
Sure, I'll take that.
Alrighty.
So you can take the 5 slices of common.
I am back to 5.5. Put it in the bag of cooling. Feed the piece of meat to.
Oh, it'll keep for 2 months. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
But I've been keeping it in a bag of cooling,
Yeah,
so I've been prolonging that.
I have goblin, orc, and gnomish loaves. And I was like, is this all just expired in my bag and just reeking? But no, when we bought it from the orc, he tells us that it keeps for 2 months.
So you give
I give the shield some of the common meat.
well, Connor, you give
Oh.
Dandy style.
Yeah, he said I can take care of him, so he's gonna. Yeah. Though he's gonna say, like, I don't. Sure, I'm not sure if we really should have him. But
No, he's a living thing like everything else. We just gotta, treat it right, love it, and it'll love us back. And just like any pet, if you train it well, you can train it what to eat.
this isn't like a dog, though.
Isn't it? Moves on its
It's-
own, likes to get into the pantry.
It transforms and eats people.
It's an aggressive dog. We just gotta train it. It's fine.
Style is added to your inventory right next to Cheetah.
Speaking of which, what style changed shape or changed form as each of us tried him on?
That's true.
Didn't he?
He did.
So what does he look like with Dandy?
Amusingly enough, when you hand him over to Dandy, he changes shape to a golden outline. It's no longer a circular shield, but more of in the shape of a harp, but still has blank wood.
That's Grant.
Aw.
He'll be back.
Yeah, you crashed. It's a blank wood with gold, sapphire, and ruby gems in a very there's a pattern to it that I just can't describe, but you can communicate with him and make it look any way you'd like.
Aren't you
But as of
adorable?
right now, he has like the shape of a harp.
Aw. I'm gonna go and feed him the common meat.
And as you put it in your hand and just kind of get close to him, the planks of wood kind of split apart, and purple tongues.
Okay. Good boy. So, Styles, can you understand me?
You put him down.
No, I'll keep him on my arm.
So you just kind of see the mouth, and it's just munching and chewing. Yeah.
Okay. So, Connor, is having a little, moral capacity. He's not used to killing people. So instead, I'm going to be taking care of you. I will be feeding you regularly. It won't be people, but it will be meat, and it will be delicious. All you have to do is, not eat me or anyone I know and care about, and also follow my orders, and I'll keep you well fed and well cleaned up. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good little shield. Do you want it to still be called Styles, or do you want to have a different name?
I don't care.
All right, I'm gonna call you Style Works. It's a reminisce, so we all can know. It's all good. I'll take out a jerky and feed him some more. Yes. Oh yeah, this is gonna be great.
Priorn is gonna look very uncertain and just kind of look at Connor like, "What have you done?"
He's gonna look back and say, like on one hand, he's a monster. Probably should be put down. On the other hand,
Yeah, and then there's the shield.
Right. On the other hand, he's a useful tool.
And then there's the shield.
That was good.
There is a part you'll have to read through Styles stuff. There's some of it that you are unable to use. Because it works specifically with the Shield Master feature.
Mm-hmm. Oh, with the Shield Master feature.
Yeah.
Well, I guess on that note, we should probably get going because no amount of talking will stop the sun from setting.
Right.
That's true.
When you go.
It is dark outside. It is about 7 o'clock now.
Rinta left, expecting us to follow at least a minute after we just keep talking, and she's like,
"Yeah, we got stuff to talk about," and I made it awkward for her. So yeah, it makes sense.
Even though it's not like, I know that time is sensitive, but I feel like we need to make an offering to Helm or something. But we can do that before we leave. It's just we need to catch these council members before they head for bed.
Outside, wasn't there a rusty gauntlet with an eye?
That was on the there was not outside, but on an altar in the front of the temple.
I thought that was in front of the door or something. Was a
there might have been a small one above the door.
Okay. I'll just walk up to the altar, sort of put my hand on it, just say, I'm trying. I'm heeding your words. Trying to get the others to follow. Trying to do our best. And he'll take his hand off.
And the that symbol was kind of old and rusted.
It's really
tarnished.
Yeah, because the building was burnt from the inside in, so
Sure.
it's in a stone husk. So the steel is very blackened, and there is some spots of rust, but a lot of fire damage.
And I'm noticing Connor kind of do this, even if I don't quite hear exactly what he's saying. It's more of a prayer, but I'm kind of noticing him do that. So I'm after he does that, I'm gonna go ahead and just meditation, just clean it up just a little bit,
Yeah.
so it's not quite so soot covered.
Yeah.
I know, like, I can't like completely fix it because it's fire damage.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah, you get, a bit of like the mold off and some of the dust and stuff. About what you could do with just like a dry rag.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that makes him slightly happier.
Yeah.
I'll kind of look awkwardly at the altar after it's cleaned up and be like, "We'll try to do better," and I'm gonna walk out.
Just give a
As-
solemn look around before turning around.
As
Creorn is not religious. So.
right, I imagine like we're kind of just splitting our separate ways as we leave too, unless anyone else had anything else to do together.
I mean, I'm pretty
And
sure
as
you'll
we
have to
as
go to the castle.
as we do, I'm gonna look at Creorn and I'm just gonna say, I wouldn't worry too much about Dandy and the shield. I don't think Dandy needs any help eating anyone.
That's a tongue that works for a living. Okay. So, what are you guys doing?
Me and Rivel are gonna make our way to see if we can talk to La Gente.
Okay.
I'll as like we kind of get closer there, I'll put myself back in my like nicer attire and clean up my hair again.
Okay. So
If we're gonna try to get an audience with someone important, it's good to be someone important.
So you leave the Premonition Brook and you head back into the Gate District. Where you go?
So, do you actually know anything about this La Gente, Reveler?
I'm gonna look at the DM. I doubt it because I don't think I know pretty much anyone on the council.
So you like
Not-
full on just like left at an early age.
Yeah. It's been about 100 years since I've been home, so I've actually spent more time away than I have here.
Looks like what, 10 years Elven time? I don't know. I'm not bad at this.
Not more or less, but still, imagine spending 10 of your years away from home and how much could change.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Well, we're going to be meeting this random person. Question. Do you know where she lives?
I mean, I imagine they all have quarters in the castle, so...
We can start there. Just make her...
So you leave the Gate District and head back into the Zircon Castle. As you walk in, the guards are relatively surprised, but also kind of like a sigh of relief when you walk back in. What do you do?
No, I borrowed your prints for a second. Sorry about that. And I'll just walk past them. Oh, do you know where we can find La Gente?
I would guess she's either at home or in her lab.
All right, so we'll assume that we haven't been here in ever and 100 years. So where are both places?
Well, her home is in the Gate District, but her lab is in the far west wing of the castle.
I will very sarcastically and humorously go, where shall we search first, my liege?
Well, where best to find a scientist, but in their lab. Imagine there's still some daylight left, so... Or, even if there's not very much.
Oh, the sun's
And-
gone.
Oh, well,
It's
It's,
dark.
it's
I'm
7. It's 7. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking 7. I mean, at least these days, 7 is still...
7
But,
to 8.
but yeah, so I'm thinking, well, fine, then I'll say that although the daylight's gone, any good scientist would probably still be working right about this. So, lab first, I would think.
Let's see if she's proactive, and we'll make our way to the lab.
You guys traverse through the castle for a few minutes and eventually get to a set of very, elven designed large double doors. You're there because on the door it reads in Elven. Protective clothing required. Do not touch anything. Do you read Elven, Dandy?
I believe he does.
I turn over to Reveler. Do we have protective clothing? Because I do read Elvish.
Okay.
Well, define protective. We have armor. I don't know if we have
Yeah, that's
anti-corrosive.
I'm
know
gonna
what's-
I'm gonna have Style wear himself. We've been talking about this on the way out just to save brevity of time. He's going to climb on my back and have a single leather-like strap around my chest. However, he wants to make that appear. So he's like
Sure.
on my back. And I basically told him if we ever need to, just he manually will crawl to my arm. That's how I shield up. I don't know. I'm not Captain America.
All right. So yeah, he goes onto your back.
Okay. Ready?
Are there any guards at the door?
No.
No? Okay. Ready as I'll ever be.
I will, never having met this person, this will not work. So I'm going to knock on the door.
You hear a woman's voice come from the inside. It's open. There's not a lock on it.
I know, but there's a sign out here that basically says that we could die entering in, so I'm just giving you the due diligence of I might mess up your lab. I'd open the door on that note.
You open the door and immediately on both sides of the walls there's like lab jackets and goggles and stuff before you even enter like past the lab.
Protective gear.
I will press the digitation, the muck and everything off of Reveler first, and then press the digitation, whatever muck off me first. I feel like this is one of those things where cleanliness is less explosive. Oh, put on a lab coat.
You put on the clothing, the darkened brown lab coat, and you see a kind of a tanned, slightly brownish, skinned elf with brown curly hair and big, thick, circular glasses. She's at her desk writing something, and as you look around, you see a whole bunch of just random science crap. You got boilers and tubes and vials and like things that look like microscopes and a lot of like gems, geometry, arcane sigils.
Any open any open books or anything of what she's currently working on? It's like scattered around with the lab work, not at her desk.
Not at her desk. No. Everything looks very clean, well taken care of.
Okay,
So
so
there's
it's
not
not
really
it's not a
anything-
messy scientist. It's an organized one. Okay.
Yeah, very like meticulously organized.
As if River enters or not, I'm gonna focus mostly on the alchemy formula and stuff, and try and figure out what she's currently working on.
Okay. Roll a investigation check.
Because I am now efficient with alchemy supplies and alchemy. Add proficiency bonus, or that's just as is.
Did you take the?
I took the feat where I'm now good with alchemist supplies and
Okay.
smithing along with other things.
Yeah. So go ahead and go ahead and make your proficiency.
Yay! 17 total.
Okay. You don't fully grasp everything that she is scribbling into the book. There's some like alchemist equations that seem to have been a test that failed. but she seems to be testing what a certain material, how it reacts to different magics and materials. And so she's kind of writing her notes and personal reports on that.
What are you trying to accomplish? Just basic reactions, or looking for an end goal in all this?
I'm trying to understand the full potential of a recent and she, at this whole time she hasn't looked up.
Yep.
I'm trying to find the full potential of a material that has been founded recently.
What's the
Quite
components of the
outstanding.
material?
And she looks up and
I will continue looking at the book as she looks up at me.
oh, you must be Revelor.
Sorry to disturb.
Oh,
your work.
she like gets up and like knocks over like a little bit of like ink. And,
I will,
dear. And,
I will press the sensation, catch the ink before it fully spills out, and throw it back into the ink jar.
She reaches out to shake your hand. Very nice to see you. I've heard so much about you, from your father. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
But no, it's the stone. Shoot. They call it blue poundstone.
Hmm. What properties does it contain thus far? Arcane or mainly mineral?
Mineral, but it's malleable. Certain types of magic, it reacts as like it's liquid. After a while, it resolidifies. It's quite astounding.
So it takes like a amorphic like substance and turn from solid to liquid and change its form.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dandy. You obviously know Revlor.
Yes. I'm so sorry. More of my manners. I am Legenti Doxia. I need my pen.
Revlor, from your point of view, it literally looks like, despite Dandy's first inclinations of the entire time walking here of quote unquote hitting on her,
Yeah.
if you care to notice, he actually is interested in the actual alchemy of it all.
Sure.
This is not a ruse.
Okay, I'm back.
It's very good to finally meet you. It's always good to meet fellow elf schooled in the ways of magic.
You practice.
Yes. Actually, both my friend and I here.
That's astounding. I didn't know that the Zerquins had the natural gift.
Many of us don't. But every generation or so, get someone who finds the ability one way or another.
I see. But much like your younger brother, he's went to the college, learning some tricks of his own.
Yes. In fact, very similar to my friend here, I believe. Also attended college of similar college.
I will actually, as they're having this conversation, much like a very nerd-like self, I will take the book and like scoot it sideways where I can fully read it. And I'm gonna actually look into this blue poundstone. Is there any descriptions on how it potentially works besides taking solid and liquid form?
No. She's still trying to figure it out. Every type of magic that she has attempted to use at this point, that she has to her availability, is not. It has not been reactive.
I probably shouldn't get too distracted. We're here to just discuss future things about the potential meeting we'll have for tomorrow. We need to gather evidence and everything about the whole old ruler of Mittalon turning into a vampire and potentially building a construct that could wipe out Adroxia and all other continents on this planet.
As he mentions that, I'm going to take out the blueprints that Connor gave to me, and I'm going to kind of roll them out. I think she's still sitting at her desk, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll just kind of
I mean, she like stood up to shake her hand.
Sure,
shake her
yeah.
hand, but,
I'll kind of roll them out and set them in front of us on the desk. See.
She takes them. I've heard a lot of stories about the old King Mittalon. He was quite the artificer. And these were his workings.
That's what we understand. Yes, it's looks like him and a fellow called Nox.
Heard of him as well. She rolls out the instructions and she's kind of like reading it over and. How interesting. They're using. It would work better if he didn't like.
Well, we're not trying to
I
recreate
see why
this
he
thing.
would-
We're simply trying to figure out how long it would take to potentially build this. We got to assume that he's had at least a 20-year lead on us.
Oh. Well, with my resources, I could have one probably built by the end of the month.
Holy!
You seemed to that you were coming to an epiphany just a moment ago, though. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, I'm just impressed. They've do you know how a spider works? They're much like a pressure system, like pneumatics.
You mean the way that they move their legs by moving the blood?
Yes.
Sorry, I rolled high on it.
Okay.
Check.
Yeah, precisely. They're using this alternative acid to move the extremities of this being, while being controlled by a remote location. So so the outside of it is just a shell. It in well with enough time, I would imagine that you could work this into anything. It could be
So
it
that
could
means that
be
the
a
acid that they're
bear, a bird. It could be
yeah, the acid particularly then has the ability to take on life on its own, or it has to specifically be controlled.
it has to be controlled by something. It seems to have some form of aura.
I turned to Revlor. At the mansion, remember said vampire we kicked in green ooze as the ooze reacted on its own? They already have this acid, but
You have some of it.
I do, actually. And I reach in my pocket. I have a vial of acid from the old mansion. How many vials do I have? I have 3.
This is very interesting. May I?
Oh crap! I really hope it's just regular acid because I kind of fed that to a random citizen.
That's it.
Hope his
Hopefully it's
marriage
out
is
of his.
doing better.
Hopefully, I hope by now that acid is out of his body.
Yeah, one can hope.
She grabs it and she kind of like whirls it around a little bit, and you watch as it kind of like with the movement, it kind of like bubbles, like the fizz in your soda.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Kind of pulls it away and uncorks it, and just puts her finger in it. May I have this?
One, if you really need two for a price. Kind of need one for myself. I'm also an alchemist and trying to do my own little side projects.
Oh, sure. I think this will be enough for me to replicate it.
That should be fine.
Thank you. I'm sorry. You guys must have come here for a reason.
Yes. Forgive us for wasting your time, but as my friend sort of alluded to earlier, we are here to talk mostly about the meeting that's to be held. There are many big decisions to make, but we are hoping that we can get enough support to at least form a band of explorers and get some resources to help us investigate the truth. And we were hoping that we might be able to get your support just from a magical and scientific standpoint. And we would, of course, be happy to share anything more that we find about constructs and things that we find.
I would love that. Of course, you'll of course have an opportunity to present yourself. I don't see why I couldn't support that at this time. I would be thrilled to have more knowledge from Mittalon himself. Ephemeral talked very fondly of him.
I don't think he's the same Mittalon that we used to know. Building this type of construct, we have no idea what he's planning to do with it. However, due to what we do know, granted, this is hearsay, but it's hearsay that we have personally held true. Just hear ourselves. A lot of people have died just to achieve whatever goal Mittalon is now heading towards. One of them most likely being Reveler's father. Once again, our only evidence is what we have heard ourselves. But at the same time, we know what needs to be done. The number one thing is, the reason why we're showing you these blueprints is I'm wondering if you can give us any insight on any major weak points if we ever have to face this construct. Any countermeasures that we can build ourselves against it. Especially if Adroxia is one of the targets this construct is going after.
If you give me some time to study this, I may be able to find something.
Is there any way for you to quickly copy this? We would like to keep the original for ourselves, not only for major evidence, but as the e-presentation.
I don't, I'm sorry.
Alright. For now, we'll hold on to this. After the meeting tomorrow, when all's said and done, we will, if deemed necessary, let you hold on to it for any future endeavors you might need to do. I'll roll up the blueprints and hand it back to Reveler.
We do very much appreciate your time. And yeah, I think that was everything we wanted to discuss, yes.
Do you have any real ideas of how to kill a vampire?
Garlic?
Yeah, see, I thought the same thing, but it didn't really emphasize that garlic was much of a key hint. Questions for later. Thank you for your time.
Yes. See you, gentlemen, tomorrow. Have a good evening.
Yes, as well.
If you can, just keep on the back burner minds of countermeasures against such vampirialism. I'm also delving into research because that is one of many potential enemies we have.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Step out. Put the coat up.
You have to
Leave the
take
door.
Protective gear off and
Crap! I forgot to hit on her. Oh. Safe?
safe. Yes, to my room, I suppose.
And what's going on with Connor and
I was
River?
about to say,
Connor and
right.
Priorn, yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say too, like right before we whip pan, I'm just gonna be like, this is gonna be the only time I invite you into my room.
You safe for now.
Okay. Priorn and Connor. What are you guys up to?
We are gonna go.
Sounds
Right,
like
change the name, Benron.
No. Selfie.
No, right. Sorry, selfie. Yeah, 2 different leaders of different
Yep.
parts of the military.
We were gonna go talk to Selfie and see if we can't get her on our side.
I'm guessing a her, because selfies sounds like a very woman name, but also in mythology, selfies were normally women. So
And
we'll see.
but also on the counterpoint, elves.
You guys already did meet, like, unofficially meet Selfie. She was in the throne room, opposite side of Caralia.
Right, so we would
Yeah,
know
so-
what she looks like.
Yeah, you know what she looks like. So you guys head up out of the premonition brook and go through the gate district and back to the Zircon Castle.
Yeah. Need to find.
Hey, weird thought, but any idea how to find Selfie?
Not really. I guess we could ask around.
Yeah. What are the odds that they actually want to tell us?
Not incredibly high. Maybe they'll let us. Quick question.
Yeah.
DM, because I forgot to write it down. Who was the lady that's style 8? What was her name again? I forgot to write it down.
Elena Kanan.
I knew it had a K sound. Elena Kanan.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, so I guess we'll go find a guard and ask where we might be able to find Selfie.
Yeah.
You guys get into the Zircon Castle. Simple enough. There's guards everywhere. You see 2 elvish, one elvish male and 1 elvish female standing guard at the door. They've got the 2-handed, like, polearm, like one side's like an axe.
Yeah.
Point at the top.
Halberd.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I think of yours as like the halberd, and it's like, yeah, it's got a hammer and then like a small axe, but this is just like the big axe.
So just a battle axe.
But it's like a long,
So
got a long
halberd.
stick with an sure. Why am I the DM?
Because you wanted to run a game.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, turned into a live stream.
Whose idea was that? Because this is like session 23.
I know, weird, huh?
But yeah, so you go up to them and they're at the ready. Yes, but like when they put it on the ground, like the part with the axe stands at like 6 foot tall.
Yeah, think of a
Oh,
spear,
yeah.
but with an
That
axe at the end.
Yeah.
That would not, or in game, that is a two-handed weapon.
Yeah.
So it is
Yep.
a rather
Let's do it.
well-sized weapon.
Definitely a pole arm.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Okay. I just
Okay.
figured I'd put out what comes to my brain when we've been talking about these things.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, so they're standing there on the inside of the door and they watch as you guys come in.
I'll walk up, or we have to walk past them, and go, "Hey, where might we find Kelfie? We have some questions for her before the council meeting tomorrow."
She would be in her quarters.
I'm new to the area. Are you able to direct me to there? Or potentially guide me?
She kind of like looks you up and down, looks to you, Connor.
If you escorted us there, that'd be very helpful.
He looks over to the female guard and she nods. Very well. And he escorts you guys through the castle. Connor, you've been on this part of the castle. Very nice. Is kind of where Revelor's rooms were. Very very fancy stuff. And you see two guards standing outside of a large double door. They'd like to meet with Selfie before the meeting tomorrow. And the two much broader, bigger guards knock on the door. They wait a moment. And you hear a few locks. What? And she sees you guys. Oh,
Hello.
something I can help you with?
We were wondering if we could possibly speak to you in private about tomorrow's meeting.
She kind of looks you guys up and down, kind of lingers on Connor's shield for a second. Sure. Opens the door more and walks back inside. As you walk in, it's a very very fancy room. There's a small living quarters. Just right inside of the door, there's two couches that are facing each other. There's a fireplace off to one side with a coffee table in between them. And she takes a seat at one of the couches, and she waits as you guys walk in and kind of take in how big this room is, and just, twice the size of yours.
I'll enter in, shut the door behind us, and go to take a seat at the couch across from her.
Connor will do the same. First off, I wanted to apologize about what happened to Elena Cannon. This, he holds up a shield, is not knock against it. Not the shield I had before. I have since gotten rid of him. I'll take off his shield and set it down.
Thank you for your apology.
We have come to ask your support in our proposal for tomorrow.
Being?
We want to start an excursion back up into Iorn to continue the investigation into the growing vampire threat and the blueprints that Connor showed the small council earlier this afternoon of the blueprints into the construction of a second construct named Khatum. And we want your support because any information that we find out about it, we would be willing to share back to help in the defense of Ephron, as well as all nations in reality, because this is not just a threat to Ephron, but to all three.
And how exactly would I assist you in this matter? My dealings are of the Navy and of the Crown's Guard. We do not leave the city. Except for the Navy.
Primarily just your support in vote of the council. We understand that the council agrees to, or it would be my impression that the council would agree to release us and let us be free to do this travel. And also, Revelor would be joining us.
Well, you guys are not prisoners. You're free to leave now. You don't have to wait for a meeting tomorrow.
A vote in support of this could lead. A vote in support would be the groundwork, as many other issues in the future will come up regarding Mittalon and whatever Khatum is cooking up. That came out.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, my head for some reason is being juggled right now. In the future, there'll be many more votes about what to do militarily, about protecting Ephron and possibly other nations against Mittalon and this growing threat. A supporting vote now would be the groundworks to further positive outcomes in council meetings that would help all three nations survive.
This also comes at a potential cost. It's no secret what happened to the late king of Famriel Zirquin. And we fear that votes in support of our efforts and the efforts to attempt to reunite could lead to more potential threats to the crown. We have seen already some conflict from the council member in charge of the laws, Carolina. We believe that she may try to stop us. Stop us from reporting, stop us from going about this mission. And that's where the Crown's Guard would come in, mostly in protecting King Regent Galen.
She ponders for a minute. Very stern look on her. She listens and she hears what you say. There's a lot of things that go into protecting a castle, protecting a king, protecting council people. If it wasn't for Caralia, I would not be in this position.
How do you mean?
I am in charge of the Crown's Guard. Losing Ephemeral? My greatest failure. Losing Ephemeral is my greatest failure.
What are your
Pretty-
suspicions as to what happened to Ephemeral? If you can share them.
My suspicion is some of the lower end guards were paid off.
Do you assume it was Galecki? Or what's your thoughts on his disappearance?
Her. I think Galecki ran. Ephemeral's disappearance. Ephemeral's death would mean imposing doom from more than likely another nation. Meaning, much like myself, she failed in diplomacy.
Well, don't know how you're going to react to this, but I'm fairly certain my mother had something to do with at least Ephemeral's death.
Why do you say that?
Before the tarantula wrapped me up and took me down to the dungeons, I had a small chat with her. She all but admitted that she had something to do with it. Of course, she never said anything out loud, anything actually damning. But the way she talked around things, the way she smirked when I suggested that she pulled strings. Now it's no secret that I am exactly unbiased towards my mother. But I do this, and I'm looking for your support on behalf of my god Helm, for protection for everybody. And I don't believe protecting anybody other than herself is in my mother's interests.
In that case, I hope you have a good representative for tomorrow. My vote will come from honesty.
Thank you for your time. Get up and pick up a shield.
Before we open the door, I'm going to turn around and look at her and say, if the council does agree to offer support, whether it's purely just a wish of good luck on our way, be careful, because if guards got paid off once, they could be paid off again. And anyone who votes in favor of us potentially puts a target on their back. What we are attempting to do here goes directly against the plans that were set in motion 20 years ago. Take that not as a threat, but as a concern. From a captain to a general.
And then we leave. And after we walk down the hallways away,
After you guys close the door, you hear a scream, glass shattering.
from behind.
From inside of the door.
Just looked at Creorn. I think she's working with my mom.
Yeah. Probably.
Is there a guard standing outside right next to us?
There's two of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at them and say, is that normal?
She gets pissed? Yes. I'm impressed she didn't throw it at you.
Really? Why do you say that?
She throws it at me.
Why do you think she's mad? Or is she just always mad?
mad.
Oh, okay then. I don't know what's gonna happen the next few days. What's gonna happen tomorrow? I'm gonna try and memorize these guards' faces. I don't know what's gonna happen next few days. But don't draw your blades on me and I won't draw on you. Just gonna walk away.
As we're walking down the hall, once we're out of earshot of the guards in a low whisper, I'm just gonna look at Connor and go, I think that might have been the wrong person to talk to. It could go one of two ways. She's either pissed at us because we're onto it, or she's pissed because of the conversation you explained you had with your mom?
I hope it's the second.
You and me both. Could we bother trying to talk to Benron?
Don't think it could hurt, could it?
No, and I mean, if he controls the military, he might be able to offer us a little bit more support or information or something.
General military might help more. We just gotta find him. And hope it's not the guy we found in that arena.
Yeah, that's gonna get really awkward, especially since well, we kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
We kind of do. And honestly, if it was the guy from the arena, then we don't have to introduce ourselves. He already knows who we are and what we're capable of.
No, he doesn't.
You guys use fake names.
We also
Yeah, but
only
the-
looked like ourselves, but buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
The
just look
seeming-
like slightly
Yeah.
bigger versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
To
you
be
made
fair,
them
I
taller and
completely
buff.
changed my features though.
Yes.
Because
Oh,
Yeah,
and I was the one that kind of did the overkill.
And me and
That's
Otar
true.
were in the audience, so
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I only damaged the rogue. Okay,
I'll tell you right now-
shot all of them, but I did the most damage to the rogue. But that was the rogue. It's fine.
A person getting taller and buffer really does change a lot.
I suppose. But we probably are. Let's go try to find him.
Yep.
Hoping that Selfie was mad about the second thing. But she might be about. And if Carriola really did get her seat where she is, she might be in league with her just from that. She might vote with her just because of that.
Yep.
So let's go talk to Benron. Wherever he may be. Hey guard, where's Benron?
He doesn't live in the castle.
Does
Great.
he live nearby?
No.
Does he live in Altanova?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is there
Some
any
dark
way to
man. He kind of moves around a lot.
if he would be at the council meeting tomorrow, where would he stay or how would he arrive? When does he typically arrive?
I don't know. I think he teleports.
Where might he? How would one get a message to him?
I don't know.
Your Crown's Guard. Where's someone who deals with Benron or sends messages to him that we can talk
Would-
to?
You would have to talk with one of the senders, or even whoever's at the teleportation circle.
All right. Thank you so much. Where would the senders be? Also down where the teleportation circle is, or?
Yeah, it would be near your mother's office.
Great. I don't want to talk to her, but okay. Down to the senders.
Yep.
Alright. So you head back to a familiar part of the castle, and you, one of you two read Elvish, right?
Oh,
Yes.
I do.
I do as well.
Perfect.
I know Elvish and Sylvan.
Okay. So you see a sign above the doors, the senders, and as you walk in, there's one elf just wearing kind of like a darker brown cloak, who's just kind of writing in a book. He's got like 3 other books up in front of him, but like he's writing in one right now.
Hmm.
And seems to be the only person in there. There's a lot of bird cages behind him, so it kind of smells in here. Hello, can I help you?
We're looking to get a message out to Benron.
Oh, sure. What would you like to tell him?
Can I write the message to him and you just send it?
Is it
Maybe.
under 25 words?
Is that like a magical limitation thing?
Yeah.
Oh. It
What
could
if I,
be
like-
shortened.
What if you spoke like really fast? There's not spaces, so it's all like one word. Does that work? Or does magic not really care about that?
I think that only works if you speak primordial.
Oh. Gotcha. Okay. 25 words. Message.
He's supposed to be here tomorrow, though.
We were hoping to catch him before the meeting tomorrow morning.
But he's not here. He teleports in the morning.
He does.
So, should we say who it's from, or should we just get a message across?
Let me see something real quick. I have a message. It's 16 words. I'm seeing if I can add.
What do you got?
Needs support for vote in council meeting. Can you meet with us? Briorn, son of Orion.
That's pretty good. I mean, hey, it's yeah. If you can meet, then we can talk more in length. We not just give a short answer or short "help us, please." So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm seeing. I've got 9 words to spare, so I'm running through my brain of like how else can I.
Cariola sucks.
Make sure if you get here alive, please and thank you.
So you have your message ready?
Everyone we talk to is just
Almost.
dead in the morning.
Hmm.
Tonight, if possible.
Thinking. 22 words. Urgent. Needs support for vote in council meeting. Vampire threat from M. Mittalon. Can you meet with us? Creorn, son of Orion.
You tell him your message. And he takes a minute and grabs a few things to cast a spell. And you see as he closes his eyes and meditates for a second, sending off the message, and waits for another minute. And he, after a moment, he snaps back out of it. He has agreed to meet with you. He's going to be here a couple hours before to catch the free breakfast.
We will plan to see him there then. Thank you.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much. It's only like what, 8 now? 8:30, 9.
At this point, 8, yeah, 8:30, because it's a bit of a trek to get through the gate districts. As you guys walk out of the senator's office, you hear a bit of a chuckling. Primordial.
I didn't really get that joke. Did you?
I think it's funnier in Elvish.
Maybe. Yeah, that is a thing with some languages. They're just funnier.
I don't speak primordial.
Neither
Maybe
do
they
I.
maybe they just make funny words.
Mhm.
Like one word means like 6 words.
Maybe. One word just has an entire message.
It's just
Anyway.
like someone slams their face on the keyboard, rolls it around for a second.
Primordial. There we go.
Yep.
Someone
So
types in wingdings.
I don't know what that is, but I don't think I want to.
Back in like early Microsoft Word, there was you could type in hieroglyphics basically.
Oh yeah.
It
Okay.
was this word font that like you could type a word and it would just be random caricature.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, should we try and meet up with the rest of the group, or I want dinner? Like
dinner sounds great.
Benron
Yeah.
mentioned breakfast, and I want dinner.
How early was the breakfast going to be?
Well, council meeting starts at, I think they said first thing, so that's probably elves early.
How would I know? I kind
It
of
would be.
lived
Yeah. I mean,
among this life for a little
it's
bit.
not like they have alarm clocks. So I mean, it'd be like within an hour after sunup, and breakfast would be ready before that.
Gotcha. We should probably eat and then go to sleep, so we can
Yeah.
be up in time for the early breakfast. I wonder what the
Revelor and
cafeteria
Davey.
has. Do they have potatoes?
Grabbing, eating snacks along the way. I guess my main thing was heading over to the safe.
Yeah, so we're headed back to my room.
Mm-hmm.
Entering inside, I'm gonna look at the. I assume you re-hit it with the painting again.
Yeah.
All right,
You-
where's the sucker at?
You go into his room, and like you thought your room was super nice and big, freaking huge in here. Like his room is like 3 rooms.
Oh, this would make me feel lonely.
Yeah,
Anyway.
there's a reason why I left.
Yeah. I don't know. They always talk about the positives of a king. You get a civilization, you get money, you get servants. They never tell you about just the solitude.
It's somewhat maddening.
I don't
Anyway,
doubt.
safe.
Where's it at?
Behind this painting over here, actually.
Oh, that's the painting y'all were talking about. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that definitely looks like the castle. Move the painting aside. Do you move the painting, or you let me move the painting?
I mean, I was gonna move it, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Me being not rich, I thought it was just a swivel painting, so I would have pulled it nonchalantly like it should be swinging open, and probably would have dropped the thing. All right, as you remove the painting, I look at it. DM, what am I looking at?
You see basically a small steel square, very intricate, small metal pieces that has an unlocking mechanism. There is a square, there is a trapezoid, a triangle, and a.
I believe I did detect magic on it. I believe got like conjuration magic. I think. Right? At the time, I wasn't too worried because I just knew it wasn't divination, and that's kind of what we were looking to see if we were being spied on.
Yeah. First thing I do is immediately check for traps.
Conjuration.
Yeah, there was conjure. So I was telling to Danny, I was like, yeah, there, and I cast detect magic and discovered conjuration on this.
I see. Secrets do you hold, big guy?
Go ahead and roll an investigation.
Ah! That's bound to happen at some point. 6.
What'd you roll?
Rolled a 3. Investigations +1, but is it checking for traps and all that? So that's, yeah, it's 3 + 1 plus proficiency of 2, so 6.
Okay. You can tell that it is trapped of some type,
There's
but
something here.
it is not to the unlocker, but to the contents.
Oh! Shoot. Without actually like activating anything, as best of my ability, I would like to feel around the open slots and see if it's a push thing, if there's seals on the inside where arcane runes would match up. I'm trying to like investigate the slots to see if how this would work. Is it a weight limit? Is it a perfect fit size, or is it a incantation arcana?
From what you can see, it looks like there's a specific key that gets pressed into it and rotated a specific direction.
Do I get the idea if there's a wrong twist or wrong fit? Yeah, the trap will go off. Okay, so
Also, you notice that the trap would go off if it tries to get unlocked at different times. It all has to be unlocked at the same time.
This is new. This is interesting.
Go ahead and roll investigation real quick.
Okay.
Both of us or just him?
Him, you already did.
Yeah, I failed.
It's an investigation, right?
Yeah.
21.
Okay. While he's checking it out and kind of like showing you what he sees, you're looking at it a little better. And you notice in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a stamp in the steel.
Yeah.
It's a shield, the letter M, and a hammer.
And I'll go ahead and point that out since I spotted that thing. Yeah, there's a symbol down here.
Shield, M, and a hammer. Okay, so if we're thinking logically,
it's Mittalon's crest.
I mean, like I was gonna say, that looks like the crest of Mittalon to me.
Yeah, it's the crest of Mittalon, but there are 3 different items that have to be used simultaneously. Since all 3 items are not even here, and I take it you don't even have a key, do you? Anything that comes to mind?
As far as I know, I don't
There's 4?
have anything. Yeah. As far as
Square,
I know,
trapezoid, triangle, and what?
There was a square, trapezoid, triangle, and a hexagon.
Excellent. You have nothing that resembles any of these shapes, do you?
Not that I can think of.
The 3-dimensional version of what I just said, so like a pyramid.
Yep. Well, one would think with the 4 things here, and considering how back when your father was ruling, or just before, the kingdoms were together, were they not?
Yes, that's a good point. I mean, I suppose they weren't together, but they did work much more closely.
Yeah. Considering how the objective of this safe isn't to harm the people opening it, but to destroy the item in it, I assume this is something that all 4 kingdoms would have to agree on. This is me spitballing out of my very literal butt. But I would assume it has to be a family heirloom to your, well, from your father or for your kingdom, and then 1 from each other. Is my best guess. I don't know.
Yeah, if it is as you say, and it's trapped something to the item inside, whatever's in here must be powerful enough that they didn't fall into.
Did you get any like I haven't really learned or I've learned it. I've never really delved into whole sensing magic aspect. Did you get like a shape identifier, or is just a glowing orb of magic?
Got any shapes or anything? It's just a sense of conjuration magic.
It was like a cylinder.
Yeah, it was sort of cylindrical shaped.
Oh, I have guesses. They're both very awesome and intuitive, but at the same time, there's no point in getting our hopes up.
Didn't say phallic.
Well, and this seems to be a much more serious safe than I originally thought. If this is the crest of
Oh, yeah.
Mittalon, this might even be a safe made by Mittalon himself, master artificer that he was.
Hmm.
There's probably not going to be any way to crack this other than to have the keys and know how to use them correctly.
Oh, absolutely. And if they don't activate all at the same time, which means we need precisely 4 people to do this at once. Yeah, we could lose whatever items on the inside. Given how, usually because me being my family history, traps were meant to protect the item inside and harm the individuals, but since this is reversed, I think the item might be a little too great for anyone to simply just have. I have theories from our adventures, but once again, I'm gonna leave them as theories.
I have a few theories as well, actually, but I suppose for the moment it's not really worth thinking about. We're not getting into this safe anytime soon. I suppose if we do manage to unite the four nations together, and if we do find objects like this, maybe we can talk about it again later.
For sure. Alrighty.
There's only 3 nations, by the way.
Only 3 nations. Right.
Iorn, Ephron, and Decry. Well, I guess Altanova is like the
sort of
free
a
state.
neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
Okay,
kind of what I
so-
meant too. But yeah, I was like, you're right. Technically speaking, there's only 3 nations.
I'm gonna look at the world map real quick. So, from my understanding, Ephron, Decry.
Just desperately trying to make
Adraxia.
Avatar references again. Hey, there's only 3 nations in Avatar. Oh, pour one out for the bear
Wait, so
benders.
not all the castles on the map are nations then?
no, if you go into our Discord and then like scroll all the way up in maps,
All the way up?
like pretty much.
I think it was one of the first things posted.
Yeah, it's the second picture.
Oh, the second picture. Oh, okay, that's how it shaped it. Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, the only like technical 4th kingdom would be Altanova.
Yeah, but time-wise, it doesn't line up. All right. Well, let's figure out what the 4th thing is. If it is from heirlooms from the king, or just a simple, I have all the keys and only I can open it, aka me being Mittalon. I don't know. This whole world used to be one. From one man. Mittalon wasn't even elven, was he? He was a man. Human.
Correct.
One can only wonder what happened to him.
Given what we saw him, or how we saw, in what state we saw him last, nothing good.
Well, being a vampire is one thing, but once again, I've only been recently studying up, but does really transforming into a vampire change your mindset that much? Does one going from a ruler that brought the whole world together to build a construct and do my own thing, and everyone else is gonna have to scramble?
I I've never turned into a vampire before, so can't tell you.
Yeah, fair. Heck, if we ever find this dumb. If we ever find this Goldchin fellow, if he's a vampire, we can ask him. Or if we ever find that other dwarven vampire that got away,
Oh,
Hawk and Dirk.
yeah, Hawk and Dirk.
maybe we can ask him. If we don't kill him right away.
Yeah. Yeah, he did try to send an entire fiend after us. Maybe we, if we see him again, maybe we can ask him nicely.
If he's willing to talk. But until then, you good by yourself, or do you want to hang on nearby? I got a room that's a lot less big than this and feels a little more homey.
Sure you want me? I know.
Are you
Yeah, we
asking
haven't-
me if I want you?
I'm just saying we haven't been getting along very well as of late.
Oh yeah, no. We haven't, but family has issues, that's how I see it, and we're hitting a rough patch, but we're not gonna run. We're gonna stay together.
I appreciate that. I do apologize for my somewhat cold demeanor sometimes. It is how I deal with trauma.
Fair enough. I deal with humor and sarcasm.
I've noticed. I do
Great.
appreciate that about you. I would be delighted to join you. This room is far too big for one person.
Nice.
Heck, your room is probably far too big for one person.
To be fair, mine's just across from Otar, so if he also joins us, just prepare for that. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Fair enough.
Did
Honestly,
I ever tell you how I first met Otar? And I was gonna talk to him as we head to my room.
and I would just say to him, like, honestly, I think I will enjoy the simplicity of hanging out with Otar.
You leave Revelor's room. You leave the safe behind. The
Covered.
guards follow you
Covered.
guys. Yes.
Painting
Yeah,
covered.
and I probably would have mentioned that on the way out too. The guards probably will follow us, just so you're.
That's fine. Heck, have him join. We can play some cards. Dice. I'm better at dice.
They, as you offer to play cards or dice, you hear one of the guards. Have you ever heard of this game, Bunkers and Badasses? And the other guard just like smacks him.
Buddy, you don't have the coin pouches for bunkers and badasses.
So you guys head into Dandy's room and fade to black.
Actually,
no, I'm kidding.
Depending if Kree and Arcana have anything to do, I actually will wait for a moment. Not when he's fully asleep, but if Revelor is at any point doing his own thing, I will sit on my bed, focus, and I will use my last 3rd level sending to contact my sister. Sorry for the late response. Have a plan. Drop the dagger off at Helm's Temple in your area. I'll pay for it.
You hear your sister's voice come back. I don't know. Really pretty. Send the money first.
It doesn't.
Where do I get it?
It doesn't specify. But am I allowed to use a 4th level for the sending?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Use a 4th level. I am quite literally taking this dagger for the simplicity of you not being hunted, not for its design. If you simply wish to constantly look over your shoulder from a very madman, do so. Price negotiable.
2,000 gold.
Mother. Revelor just hears me say that out loud.
You hear 2,000 gold. I'm still with our parents. We're always being hunted. Motherfucker.
that's all you hear. It's just...
Revelor kind of looks up, like from I was probably reading or something like that, and like looks up and sees that, and as someone who also has conversations with people that other people can't hear, kind of just goes,
Yeah, okay.
Like, nods and kind of goes back to it.
We're not making recording this. Last 4th level. I will give you literally everything, which is 500 gold, and I will make it where you have one less continent hunting you. That is all my money.
You know what a continent is, right?
I don't know. Put me with Drew Carey. I don't know the difference between continents and countries. I don't know. A country. Dandy's smarter than me.
Well, Mittalon is a continent. Alta Nova is like a city-state.
One less city to have chase after. Redact, that's what I said. I got 500 gold. That's my entire pouch.
1,000 gold.
Don't. I can't reply.
Your sister.
Yep.
All right. Anything else before the end of the night?
That's it for me.
I'm settled.
Okay. You guys take your long rest. You guys finally get your level up. And the next morning, Dandy and Revelor are woken up by a knock on the door.
Revelor, did you really order breakfast in bed, you rich, spoiled king?
I mean, I don't typically sleep in my bed, but no, that wasn't me.
Oh yeah, I should ask. Did you stay up for 4 hours, or did you wake up 4 hours early?
Because I was. True, yeah. I guess just for funsies, I'll say that I stayed up for 4 hours, so that way I
Okay.
can be groggy too.
You know, one of two things. This is room service, or this is one of Connor's mother's assassins here to kill us.
Oh, either way.
Roll out of bed, take style, lob him over my shoulder. Weapon, I'm getting dressed and everything. Who is it?
Joshua.
Bless you.
Gesundheit. Do you have is there like a old apartment eye hole here to look through, or no?
No.
No, yeah, I figured. Do you know a Kazuza or whatever? Look at Revelor.
Okay. No, but there are 2 guards outside the door at least right now.
2 guards, if you're alive, make a sound. Say that as the door's closed. And...
They brought your clothes for the day, sir.
Good, and I'll open the door. As long as they're alive.
You open the door. There's a very nice, nicely dressed elven man, dressed like a butler.
Can I catch that name again?
Jorzua.
Yeah.
George. Fuck you guys.
George.
Georgua. Jorjua. Georgua.
Well, George, nice to meet you. What clothes? Why?
For Revelor.
You have someone dress you? And I turned to look at him.
No, but we made his outfit for the meeting today.
Honestly,
I assume he can dress himself, but if he requires assistance, I can help.
no, that'll be fine. Thank you.
As he walks past, I'll whisper in George's ear, how much does this outfit cost that was brand newly made?
We have a tailor in house. I
Fabric.
don't think we spent any money.
How much would the fabric cost to get this fabric?
You like refined clothing. You're
I
looking
really
at
do.
this and you're thinking this outfit probably would cost about 500 gold in the market.
Take good care of this outfit as I turn to Riffler. I will go grab us breakfast, I guess.
And once you are ready, your mother has something for you. She requested I tell you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you request anything else?
No, that'll be all.
Kind of bows his head and backs out of the room.
Don't bow to me. I'm not noble. And I'll close the door.
As much as I dislike the pomp and circumstance, he was very helpful. It will be good to be well dressed for a day like today. As much as I hate to admit it, those sorts of things do matter.
I will never understand elven culture. Anyway, quick question to you, Reveler.
I'll start to kind of just change as.
Does he see your tramp stamp? Okay.
Does he have one?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. Did my patron give me a tramp stamp? Because that would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Like I don't even know about it. There's just like a demon.
Another
mark.
hand has touched the beacon.
Oh.
You just have cat ears right at the back of your head.
Oh no! It's probably just cat whiskers or something.
Danny makes a mental note.
If I bend over, I can show you the nose.
Anyway, our journey ahead is gonna cost money, travels, and everything. If we do have to move on along this journey, how much money do you think your kingdom can spare us?
Honestly,
Excuse me.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Cool.
I'll put it that way.
I need specifically 1,500 gold.
Can I ask what for?
You want the honest truth or a reasonable explanation?
I mean, honestly, either will do. But I'd always appreciate the honesty.
I would like to have you roll a persuasion check.
It's 15 plus. What's my persuasion? So that's 19.
Honesty it is. So my sister has a dagger that's being, hunted by the leader of a massive, the pits. And the guy is wanting to kill her and my family until he gets the dagger back, or the dagger is returned. So I need to return the dagger, and to do that, my sister has asked 1,000 gold, henceforth the 1,000 part. But also, we need to travel on our journeys, and I need more gold to purchase more things, and another Revivify gem, because this thing only has one charge, and I used it on a werewolf that I forgot his name already, so that's the other 500.
Roller's gonna kind of look at him and consider. And you trust your sister to give you the dagger in exchange for the money?
No, but it'll give me a reason to betray her even more if she decides not to give it to me.
Reveler will kind of smile at this just a little bit, like kind of stifling a laughter. All right, I'll see what I can do.
Appreciate it. That's our morning. We just go get breakfast after that, if anything else.
Okay. You get dressed, you go get breakfast. Connor and Creorn.
I would
Is
have
that-
woken up very early. Because knowing that like we would have to be at a council meeting, I would have wanted to like polish up my armor a little bit because like there's been some combat, there's been some jumping and rolling. Realistically, I haven't cleaned my armor in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, of course.
So I probably would have woken up very early since I also went to bed kind of early
Yeah.
and just kind of found a guard in the hall and been like, hey, can you either send for or point me in the direction of some cleaning rags and some polishing oil? I need to clean up my armor.
Yeah. They take you to a small like workshop where the guards clean up their stuff.
Yeah, polish up pretty much everything, all the way down to like the gem on my bow.
Yeah.
Just full presentation, just all that, and then I would head back to my room. Probably knock on Connor's door to make sure he's awake.
Connor's been polishing his own stuff with his own supplies, making sure his weapons are all nice, and his new dwarven shield that's all fancy is also polished, since that was just sitting in a bag for a while. Then, yeah,
Hey,
I'm up.
Yep, we got that meeting.
Yeah. Well, it's like he'll start putting on his stuff, and then we're going to breakfast first.
The meeting is at breakfast because Benron comes in for the free breakfast.
I
But
misunderstood. All right.
I figure we'll swing by the teleportation room and
See if we can catch him there.
see if he's shown up yet.
Yeah, we can do that. He'll put on his stuff and then head out.
You guys make your way into the Great Hall where they have all of the food, the breakfast laid out, and you see at one of the large tables there's sitting by himself a large built blue furred tabaxi, hunched over, just like eating like a savage, honestly.
Does he look familiar?
He looks very familiar.
Oh no.
Oh no!
No.
I pull around the corner, mean you guys. Hey guys, just got my breakfast. Oh, that guy's a pig. Just continue.
No, he's a
Gonna-
cat.
I see what you did there.
I try, man. I'm funny.
It's good, yeah.
I can tell a joke.
You did good. Why are you snapping at me for? Jeez. It's
When you
breakfast.
say-
You're not you and you're hungry.
When you say cat, you
Just
hear
Snickers.
when you say cat, he's a cat. After he said he's a pig,
I'm a
you
kid.
hear a muffled voice. Tabaxi. And it keeps eating.
Walk over.
I
Dandy. I wave in the distance.
I'm gonna make a very pointed look at Dandy of like, you might want to not be here right now. And like,
Why?
He looks completely different back then. I'm not here, but you know.
yeah. Well, Dandy.
Hmm.
Well, all of this has been nonverbal because it was just a look of like, dude.
Hmm.
I
This
guess
is like the main cafeteria, right? Yeah, so I'm just sitting this on the like almost like down the long. If it's a long table, down the long
Yeah.
table, or just I'm on the opposite end, but I'm just eating.
in a very quiet voice, and like I'll lean down next to Dandy, just with a smile on my face, and just be like, first of all,
Hmm?
that's Counselor Benron, or Councilman Benron.
Good to know.
That also looks a lot like the tabaxi we fought in the arena.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, I'll look at I'll stand back up and say,
Does that
Well,
mean
good
I
morning.
just beat up a council? She's gonna go. Beat up an
walk
elven
Look at-
council member.
look at Connor, be like, time for food in a very awkward meeting?
I'm just
Yeah.
having like a grin is over Danny's face as he's eating. Yeah, I just beat up a council member from the Elven Kingdom. Ah, I didn't say that aloud, but that's pretty much the mindset now.
Otar's sitting next to you, just fucking trying to like out savagely eat Benron right now.
If there is a servant walking by, I turn to him. This is a buffet, right?
Breakfast buffet. Yeah, get some breakfast food, and then go try to sit next to Benron. Otar's already there. All right.
I'd probably sit across from Benron personally.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah, we should
Dandy
set
and
it
Otar are like a little further down the table.
Yeah, we're down the table. We're not a Karen. I will
Yeah,
feed Styles bacon, meats, goodness. Feed Chitu well-cooked meats, sausage, whatnot. I am a pet owner now.
You are a dog mom.
Beastmaster.
Slowly but
I know.
surely.
Beastmaster Bard is a totally different class than Beastmaster Ranger, okay? Now we're bordering into hentai.
No, we're not. We're bordering
Beastmaster
into
Bard,
furry.
come on.
I was gonna say, please, I'm the only Beastmaster here.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you're in front of the counselor.
He doesn't understand. It's fine.
So you guys sit across from or near Benron.
I'd probably walk over with a plate in my hand and just kind of approach and be like, mind if I sit? Pull a chair or bench, just grab a seat, start eating, and in a low voice, catch him in between bites and be like, my name is Kriorn. I'm the son of Orion.
Swallows. Benron.
Connor will sit down. I'm Connor, son of Cariola.
You guys look like someone else I've met.
Yeah, we've met before. In Altanova.
That's right.
Yeah, we lost some weight since then, but
I can see that. Your
Yeah.
shield's a dick.
I
He like pulls up his
agree.
arm. He pulls up his arm. Like, my hair hasn't grown back.
I am
And you look at his arms and his like bicep is fucking huge.
I'm sorry about that, sir. I've since disposed of that shield. It's no longer in my possession.
It was interesting. Still a dick, but interesting.
Very interesting. We wanted to catch you before the meeting started properly.
Hmm?
We wanted to see where you might stand already.
If you're aware of what the council meeting is on today.
Various few things. I heard Revelor, the son of the eldest son of Ephemeral's back home. Heard some news about other ongoings with the other countries. A little bit of war news. Very wide meeting today.
Well, we are looking for support. The news is correct that Revelor has returned. There has also been news and we have seen personally the return of the old king Marcus Mittalon.
Thought he was human.
As I say this, I'm going to be looking very closely at his face. I want to see facial expression and things like that as I'm going to drop a couple like major just bombs throughout the conversation, and I don't know if you want me to roll for it, but I want to be paying very close attention to his face.
Sure.
Is that insight or?
Yeah.
So, first one. Well, Marcus Mittalon is now a vampire, and that roll is 15.
He's unfazed. That would expand his lifetime.
Significantly. We also know for a fact, because we've seen the laboratory that he has created, he is working on building another construct. And the roll for that one, not great. That's a 5.
He's eating.
The same construct that once hit. Didn't hit Odroxia, it hit, what was the city name? It was short? It was, what was the
Grana?
name?
Was it Grana?
Grana.
Okay, I was right then.
The same kind of construct that hit Grana.
The big snake thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's making another one.
You guys didn't destroy it?
We don't know how.
We found his blueprints, though. We took those.
Oh, good.
We also know he is working with an individual who has nicknamed himself Nox. 16.
He's like, the name rings a bell, but he's trying to remember who that is. Okay.
We need the support of the council to allow us to begin working with the other countries. This is no longer a threat of the humans attacked Decry and Ephron, and supposedly the humans attacked Decry and Ephron, and supposedly the elves attacked Iorn and Decry, and the Dragonborn attacked Ephron and Iorn. This is no longer a three-way civil war. This is a war in which nobody started it, but everybody was affected. There is a much larger plot in this, where someone is attempting to divide Mittalon as a whole.
Why?
That is one thing that we are still trying to figure out. We know that the constructs are controlled by the crown of Mittalon.
And if
We
everyone's a victim in this story, then why did Iorn invade Ephron?
Because they got attacked by what they thought was Ephron. Invading was their counter. Same way my mother kind of put a whole bunch of humans to torch. That was her counter. Everyone reacted differently.
We also know that several Titans have been, or that were part of the attacks, were under control of some kind of leech that bites on and takes control over you.
He interrupts you. The rest of that conversation should be done privately with the council.
I'll nod very solemnly, just like, yes.
Connor's gonna look around the cafeteria. Does anyone else seem to be like listening in or watching us at all?
There's a lot of people coming and going. There's a lot of there's guards grabbing plates and moving on. There's cooks and
Like
butlers
anyone
that
specifically focusing on us?
roll a roll a perception check.
That's a straight D20.
As Connor looks around, I
16.
kind of look around too, because, if one person looks, I'll look too, just like, okay, did he see something or is he checking for something?
Well, both of you can roll once, or one of you can roll with advantage.
I already have advantage from perception because of the eagle eyes.
Oh, right. Go ahead.
Passive perception is just for me, so if my 14 catches anything, because I'm still eating.
For me, that's a 17 plus 5, so 22.
What'd you get, Connor?
16.
It doesn't look like anyone's particularly paying attention. A handful of guards look over to Ben Run and give him like a nod of respect and kind of look at you with like a little bit of like hesitation. They notice you. They're not paying attention to what you guys are doing, but they notice you.
The reason why we sent the message to you last night was purely to ask for your support in the vote. Because given some circumstances that have been happening here, with the assassination of the late King Ephemerial, the disappearance of give me a second, I have it. Councilman Galecki. And here's my last roll. We believe that there is a plot from within the council to continue the war. And that's a nat 20.
Nothing out of the ordinary. He's just listening to you.
Okay. No. Okay. And we believe that an effort could be made to attempt to stop the peace that we are attempting to reunite between the three countries. We understand that it will not be a fast process, but as a military leader, I can only imagine that you are tired of the war, and your men are tired of the war. I've served. I know. With your support behind us, and your military willing to work, you willing to voice your support to work with the other militaries to help end this, that can go a long way.
I'll hear you guys out.
Okay. We also understand that if there is a plot, the potential for adding targets to any supporters, or any support could add targets. We understand any hesitation, but we want to be upfront and we want to get as much support as we can for this.
Smart. There's strength in numbers.
Imagine what 3 countries could do together.
I suppose we'll see how the meeting unfolds.
Appreciate you meeting with us. I'll look
Thank
at
you so
Connor,
much.
like, any last regard or any last statements you want to make?
Don't. You fought well in the arena. It was a good
You both-
time. Those wolves are a pain. Basically the same kind of dickishness that my shield was.
That's fair.
Oh, hey, did you actually know the other two guys that we were fighting with, or did you just kind of get teamed up with them?
I knew one of them.
Which one?
Forzyke.
Which one was
The-
he?
The
The one
goblin.
with or without kneecaps?
Oh. The goblin.
The goblin was the ranger.
Oh, the goblin was the ranger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Without.
Which one? Which one? No, the ranger kept his knees.
Okay.
It was the rogue that got.
It was the
Yeah.
rogue.
Connor KO'd the ranger. The ranger also had a pet cheetah dragon. It rode in on the cheetah dragon.
Right.
I don't remember what race the.
It was a half elf, or
It,
Out of
yeah, half elf.
curiosity, DM, Chi-2 cheetah dragons, what CR would you say? Less than 8?
Yeah, much less than 8.
Yeah, I figured.
okay.
I'd say, without digging too far into it, probably somewhere between like 3 and 5.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think that's everything I needed to say.
I'll see you guys in the council room. And he kind of like rotates a little bit. You, more.
I'll
His
kind of
plate's like basically empty. He just like starts licking the plate clean.
I'll
All
grab
right.
my plate and shuffle down to Dandy and Otar and just go join them for the rest of breakfast.
Danny's currently in his college book of lore along with eating his food.
There's a moment where Otar is eating. He's eating, and then he like stops. Is that the guy from the pit?
So they say.
Allegedly.
Keeps eating. Revel. So everyone's eating breakfast. You finish getting dressed, and you go and meet up with your mother.
Yes.
You head to her quarters, and it's just a couple doors down from yours.
Right.
From where your room is, and you knock on her door. She lets you in. And, oh, good morning. Gives you a hug. Hey, wanted to catch you before today's meeting. I have something that your father wanted you to have.
The first
And
key.
she turns around. She grabs a small box, and she hands it to you. He got one for all of you guys. Your brothers and your sister. So they were special. I mean, they're pretty. They're your birthstone. But just thought you'd like to have it.
Thank you. It's in a little box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reach out and sorry. Speak to the microphone. Yeah, I'll reach out and take it. I'll kind of like I'm thinking about like opening it and I'm like, you think I should wear it today?
Your brothers never take theirs off.
Seems like the right thing to do. You know what happened. I'll open it up and.
It's a necklace with a small hexagonal shaped gem.
Hell.
And one.
To answer your question, he has 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Yep. Ah, yeah. Funny that.
As soon as DM said brothers, I was like, oh, were we just completely overthinking that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
probably.
Oh,
The
man.
entire Zirquin family, but alright.
Well, there's that.
Well, you should get some food and have that meeting here soon.
Have a bit of a day ahead of us.
We do. I hope they serve us lunch. These meetings always go way too long. You'll learn all about that.
Do my best to remember what little I did learn from Dad. Thank you, Mother. I do appreciate this. Suppose I'll see you there.
Yes.
A little hug and then go get some breakfast.
Okay. All right. Congratulations, you have the first key. So yeah, you join the rest with the rest for breakfast.
As Dandy is reading his book, eating his food, the College of Lore. Now becoming level 8. To take your form much further beyond, cast the spell Navash Navan Flu Mehan. And I will, for my first time ever, accidentally cast Polymorph.
Oh no.
You're a
You
dick.
just had to use that one.
Yeah, I will
It
go.
only works if you sing it, Dandy.
Nah, not for Dandy. Dandy's by trial by fire. He'll turn into the only beast-like creature he knows. He'll turn into a Cheetu.
Gee, I wonder why you were asking what the challenge rating of a.
Yeah.
Dragon was.
I'm just, yeah, I'm now a Cheetu just sitting at a table with food.
Anyone?
Well, I'm sitting there eating my breakfast, and all I hear is Dandy talking to himself, reading a book, which pretty normal. All I hear is Clue Mahan.
Book drops.
I
Book drops
I
on
clicked
table.
that too
Now
early.
a Cheetu.
I clicked that too early, but I was gonna say, what in the actual did you just do?
Dandy, you hear a bit of purring behind you. And Cheetu's in the process of shoving her snout up your ass.
I'll do the whole cat friendly. No claws, just the.
From my bag, I'm gonna pull 2 pieces of common meat and I'm gonna toss them at both of them.
Ow. I have no complaints. This is great.
This is going
As-
in a really weird direction.
As he says no complaints, you hear a female's voice. How you doing?
It's Chitu. It's me. Hi.
Hey.
G2, that's dandy.
We can talk off stream.
I don't know how much my god is into this.
Well, he is a human god, so probably not much care.
Yeah, unless he's Zeus.
Zeus would really care.
Zeus is into this.
I was
Zeus,
gonna
let's
say,
go.
Zeus would have transformed into G2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be Zeus behind you, not G2.
And then Loki would have watched.
Those are two different pantheons, but okay.
Not if you've seen the newest Thor movie.
I have not actually.
Yeah, Zeus is in it.
It's funny.
So you guys get interrupted by a younger half elf male who's some sort of crier, was wearing the blue marbled collar. The council meeting is assembling. Your presence is required.
Cool. Thank you. As the cheetah dragon says that to him.
He looks very perturbed and backs away.
Try and use my extend. Cheetah, how do you claw? Flex. Oh, there we go. Flip the page. Yeah, this lasts up to an hour. I'll be fine.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do?
Nothing much. I don't think.
Benron gets up and starts heading down the hallway. You guys slowly follow.
On all fours.
She too keeps trying to sniff your ass. Getting up in there.
Scouts not even know, it's just later.
We're gonna have words after stream.
Dragonborns, lizard folks, tabaxi. What's the difference?
Sentient beings. You guys reach the throne room that you guys have been in before. You get to the center table, and you look as Galen is sitting in a chair. Your mother and Orion is standing above your shoulders. You see Rinta already standing behind a chair, and you see in the chair is got an engraving of like fiery dragon head. Benron goes over and sits at a seat that has the engraving of it's a shield with two swords crossing. And as everyone trickles in, you notice that there's a few chairs that were like left out, away from a little bit away from the circular table, and for you guys to sit. And that's where we're gonna end the session.
Woo!
I completely forgot that there was a meeting the next day. I was expecting like whole quests to win over council members, and like, oh, it's tomorrow. Actually, it's like, right.
Right. I was kind of surprised that you guys wanted to like go and talk to these council members. Like the meeting is in hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what else are we?
And so
chill?
now you get to repeat everything to everyone.
Right.
Yes, but this was the as soon as possible. We know where people stand now, and now we know the audience we're talking to.
Do you?
Oh, we
As I
we
say
do
that as
not
a
know
cheetah
where
dragon in a
everybody
seat.
stands.
We know where they say they stand, at least.
Well, they're all
And
sitting.
even then, we have no idea in reality because at least the 2 council members we talked to, and we as a group did not get a chance to sit down and say what we did,
Nope.
what we know. So at least the 2 council members that we talked to both said, "I will vote based on how I feel."
I mean, that's fair.
So yeah, they didn't voice their support. I mean, they didn't openly say, "Nah, screw you guys," like I'm gonna toss you in the dungeon. But
At the
yeah.
same time, there's no real malice towards us, and that's what I was looking for.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
kind of-
through today's adventure, you probably gathered that trying to bribe the council members be against the law.
I didn't bribe.
And
We discussed.
Depending on the council member, bribing them with knowledge might be considered bribing.
technically,
I mean,
me and-
I was.
technically, me and Dandy. I mean,
Here's
we
the-
just kind
here's
of
the
hinted
threat.
that, like,
Here's the plan.
hey,
Here's what we weren't trying to do. We'll see you tomorrow. If she's complaining about the vial, I will take that acid vial back. That was not meant for bribe. That was meant for research. I literally
Well, if
made it
it-
point.
and if it were a bribe, it would have been withheld in exchange for the vote. Like, we wouldn't have just given it to her. It would have been like, well, we'll give this to you if you vote for it. You know, like.
No, I was literally saying, if you know how to use this better, please learn.
Yeah.
It's
It's for the good of the land.
in
I
reality,
need help.
all we did is prevent voter suppression because at least Connor and I informed both council members that we talked to equally. We told them
Yeah.
everything, and we just kept anything from, in case Caralia tries to, have us arrested or something like that, then our 2 council members can go, "Wait, you didn't let them talk about blank."
Yeah,
Right.
they know what we are about, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
we,
know
like-
they know what we want to bring up in this meeting, and
All about
that
cheetah
could,
butt.
And all we did was basically describe to later what's the scientific devastations that are this potential vampire, and I made it clear this is hearsay.
Yeah.
That this is the threat that I believe is coming towards us. There's no bribery. If I wanted to bribe her, I would actually hit on her, but I didn't. I did good.
Yeah.
Well, except
yeah,
for the
you had,
part
like,
that I'm now a
except
cheetah
for
dragon
turning
the
into
council.
a cheetah dragon.
you had like a hot elvish librarian with like the glasses and everything right in front of you, essentially.
Yeah, didn't
I'm
hit
proud
on
of
her.
you, bud. I'm proud of you.
If you have seen a theme with Dandy, Dandy's theme is he will talk mess, and when the okay is clear, he will then start to flirt. But when the time actually comes, he's just Dandy. He doesn't actually he
Right.
doesn't push it unless the green light is lit.
Right.
Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you guys for spending the time and hanging out with us through this session. If you like this video, if you like this stream, give us a like, a follow, hit the bell notification. Make sure you get notifications when we go online. We'll be streaming D&D every other Saturday, so we'll see you guys again on the 29th. Potentially, there might be some schedule restrictions, but we'll update our calendar. But yeah, we should be online.
Who knows? We
moral
might
of-
do that the rest of that one shot next time.
Yeah.
You guys will get to see how Fire and Darkness ends.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, be sure to do
One of
all
the people we
subscribing
liberated
things.
was Connor. No,
It actually does help out.
All
the
you need to
channel.
know is that there's a perverted goblin who can run 135 feet
Oh,
and
our,
a T-Rex.
our DM made the best character. Yeah.
Huh.
I made a character who completely inappropriate for the scenario where my main gimmick just doesn't work at all.
Yeah, I made a goblin barbarian that was like Totem of the Eagle. And he gets 45 movement speed, and then because he's a goblin, he can bonus action, or like I think it covers his class. He can bonus action dash like a rogue.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, 45, 45, 45.
So be sure to tune in for that, because that'll be hype.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
made an owl called Hollywood.
Yeah, and I hurt my throat because we played for 4 hours, and I talking like this. Or something similar.
Yeah.
You can watch how our DM plays, and you can also watch
Oh,
how
God.
our
It's so
TJ,
bad.
the TJ who plays Creamer, you can watch how he DMs, which is, you know what? I'm gonna be honest,
It's pretty good.
surprisingly good. Like I
It was
was
nice.
shocked at like how good it was.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well, until then, we will see you guys around the table.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Moral
Thank
of
you.
today's story was consent.